Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Farming Simulator 15 on Knuston Farm, where I need to do some stuff. Ow! I remember to tie my hair back literally 30 seconds before the timer hit 0. So it's probably not as good as I'd like, but it'll do. I need to get the sound going on Farm Sim. Is that at 100%? Yes. Is that set correctly? Yes. It's gonna be one of those days. Been having one of those days. I'm for a walk this morning, so I say this morning. It was like 1:30 I went for a walk because I woke up and decided I wanted to go for a walk. So I went for a walk for like probably about half a mile or so. I feel good. I feel like I'm ready to do this. So let's hop it. Thank God that worked. Didn't want a repeat of ATS yesterday where it just kept going wrong. So let's get harvesting here. I don't know if I've got straw enabled here, but I do. That'll work. So I played a very, very small bit last night. Looks like I didn't, but I did. After the stream. Or not, was it last night or was it Tuesday night? I played a small bit since Tuesday. And what I did was I baled up the headlands on the other field, ready to go. So we're going until about 7 o'clock tonight, so we got about 4 hours of stream today. And the plan, and there is a plan for once. There's usually a plan, but there is definitely a plan in place today. The plan for today is to get the harvest done here, and then we're going to get to baling both fields. I have a feeling I'm going to regret doing straw on these headlands, but that's a problem for later on today, I guess. My God, I regret wearing shoes. I'm usually wearing slippers or something, and Oh, that's the reason my pedals have moved. My pedals are not where I like them. That's why I'm getting stuck on them. So I'm going to pause the game real quick and just move them a bit with my feet. That's slightly more comfortable. Still kind of wish FarmSim would use the clutch. Or allow me to use the clutch at the very least. But that's not a thing FarmSim wants to do, so that's fine, I guess. So what, 62% full? That's... Oh, I've got the wrong item selected. Let's put the pipe out. I saw that in FarmSim 16, which is the mobile version of, well, essentially FarmSim 15, the mobile version that came out late last year, that if you honk the horn on the harvester, you would get a tractor over with a well, you get whatever vehicles on the nearest trailer to pick up the to empty the harvester. I actually really hope that makes it into 17, because that would be the courseplay functionality that I'd really want in the game. Is just easier emptying of harvesters. Because right now it's like you have to do everything manually if you don't want to use courseplay. Or auto tractor or a hired worker or something. Like on a field like this, you cannot use any of the normal in-game tools. You cannot play this with vanilla hired worker. You probably could if you really were a bit desperate, but not particularly advised because collidable hedges. Please tell me the next... No, where's the new one? I've just passed it. My desk is a mess. My entire room is a mess. At the moment. Hey Bob! I think you're the only person here other than me, but... Hey Bob! It's saying there's people here, but you're the first person to chat. Other than me testing the chat wasn't going to do something weird. So if you see on your screen there's a pop from me, that's me testing chat earlier on. When I was setting everything up. That is a nice combine. That is the FS11 combine. The combine is actually FS11. It's based on an old class Matador. I mean, it's quite blatantly an old class Matador. But it's when Giants couldn't get the rights to damn near anything, so it's a lizard sovereign. So let's hop back into the harvester. You can see there's the baler from where I left it. I played a bit off camera. I've just realised the bales might have decided to go flying somewhere, which isn't necessarily good. Let's get the combine turned on again. You only played 13 and 15. Same! I just saw the LS11 pack and I thought it would be worth getting because it's older equipment and it looked fairly stable. It was on Marhu's website and I thought, hey, this would be something worth getting. So I got it, and it does seem to be... it doesn't have dirt skins or anything, but the indicators do work. The beacons do work, if I can remember what the beacon button is. This one. Beacons work. Was that the old class baler? Yes, the oldish class baler. The one from when I was doing the mod spotlights, and it was literally the only baler that actually performed and did what it said it would. That's the baler I'm currently using. I will be upgrading, I think, to a different baler at some point. Not today, but at some point. And moving away from doing chaff silage into baled silage, so I'll be getting the McHale Fusion. I think I have the Fusion 3 in this mod folder. Where can you find it? The baler is on Mod Hoster. It is... I'll have to find the name of it for you. So you can find it fairly easily in the... it's the Class Roland 250. I'll get you a link real quick off the mod list. No, that's my statistics for the mod list. I'm just after looking up. Well done to me. Class roll on 250, it should be up here. Yes. Here's hoping this link works still, because I've noticed that, yes. So, when was this uploaded? 23rd of June last year, yes. That's the one. And there is the link. Now I need to reset everything on this window. There we go. It's a nice baler. Works pretty much perfectly. I'm not 100% gone on it. There are things that I would optimize. For example, there's no dirt skin. As far as I'm aware, there's no dirt skin, none of that kind of stuff on it. But it is fully functional. It looks nice. It is a really nice looking baler. I do appreciate the kind of roughed up look that it has, which is why I use it. I kind of overlooked the fact there's no dirt skin or anything on it. And it produces the in-game bales, which means it's completely functional with all the bale hook mods that I've got. Well, specifically the bale extension, which the Crone Ultima baler, the one that won the mod contest, and rightly so, that was the best mod out of the mod contest. Bale extension did get updated for that. It had to, because BM Modding decided to use their own bale definitions. So if you want the thing, if you want to have the Crone Ultima and Bale extension together, you actually have to get the latest version of Bale extension, which I have. So the Ultima is a potential piece of equipment. I never checked when I was in the shop menu if I've got the Fusion 3 at the moment. I'm gonna check real quick, because I know I've got it in at least one of my other mod folders. I do have the Fusion 3, so I've got the Fusion 2 and 3. The Fusion 3 looks nicer. It's the only reason I have it. They both function identically, by and large. The Fusion 3 is just a nicer looking baler. Let's go in cab. Let's do this in cab because it's slightly quieter. And we're what? We're almost full again. It's the downside of the small small harvesters. It fills up constantly. It's only got like a 4,000 litre tank. Then again, I guess it's better than what I had to do on ATS yesterday, which was try and drive a truck 70 miles with 51 miles of fuel, which I miraculously managed by having the truck turned off for the majority of the time. And if you watch NASCAR, you'll see that's a pretty common strategy when you're trying to save fuel under caution, is you'll go slightly faster than the pace pack, caution pack, and you'll drop the clutch in and just turn off the engine for a bit and coast. And I managed to get a good 4 miles of coasting at the very end, because I was luckily headed into the city with the fuel station just as I was running out of fuel. I managed to get there with 1 mile of fuel remaining. I might I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the raw file and actually cut that section out and upload that as a highlight in itself, because that's one of the more impressive things in my own head that I've ever done in a game, is the impossible fuel load, as I've decided to dub it. It's what, 3:15 already? Good lord. I did start the stream at exactly 3 o'clock. Well, I started the countdown at exactly 3. Although YouTube decided to start the countdown at like 2 minutes past. Because, hey, we're getting your stuff, we're getting your stuff, we're getting your stuff, we're getting your stuff, we're getting your stuff. When I tweeted out that the stream was going live, I was literally about to say, I'll be going live whenever YouTube decides to pull its finger out of its ass. Because all I could see was, hey, we're receiving your content, it'll be live momentarily. And I was getting absolutely no feedback other than that. I really wish you could lift headers without having to select the header of the harvester. That's one thing that I would love to be changed in FS17. It has been confirmed today. Well, for me at least, it was confirmed today. I don't know when this was actually uploaded or anything, but there is a video on YouTube somewhere. I haven't looked at it. A video somewhere on YouTube showing that the Holmer Terrados, I think it is, being released in the Homer DLC, that will have different steering modes. So Giants are listening to various requests, which I approve of, very much so. It's just a big question of, well, what else is it going to have? Because the Homers in real life do have different steering modes. And I appreciate... You just watched that video. It's pretty... Oh, that's good to hear. I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it after the stream. I was actually watching a video about pro wrestling just before the stream. A guy talking about the ECW brand within WWE, which... that wasn't a failure. And yes, I am one of those people who does actually watch pro wrestling. I know it's fake, it's my version of a soap opera, deal with it, I like violence. And it's getting... they've got a couple of good storylines on the go at the moment that are being done relatively right, which is interesting. Although one is going absolutely wrong in their eyes, because the guy who's supposed to be the bad guy is getting cheered and the guy who's supposed to be the good guy is getting booed. That's kind of... yeah, they've... that's a screw up on their part, I'm going to say that. Because the crowds don't like having people they don't like pushed down their throats, and that's what WWE is doing at the moment. And has done for the past like 10 years. Thank you, John Cena. Although the start John Cena was actually generally liked, it's just big match John, la 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 la, always wins. Is hated. Let's just go up here and fill up the tank on this thing. So I'm not going to plant sugar beets for a little while. I will be planting beets again because of the Homer DLC. Because I do plan on getting that thing. Actually, I plan on getting both vehicles for this farm because they would be pretty cool. Possibly a bit big, but pretty cool. Oh, this is a 4,200 litre tank. Yeah, John Cleaner is about right. But I really don't understand, like, professional promoters who, you know, say, oh, this is the guy I like, he's gonna be a big guy in the company. Screw the crowds, I know they don't like them. They don't like him, but that's their problem. They're the ones who literally support... They're the ones who pay for him. So, you know, should be the crowd. Somebody has literally just added me to their friends list on Steam. So I'm gonna have a quick gander at their profile while I'm waiting. You can't see any of this. I'll accept a friend request, whoever that is. It's probably spotted I'm playing Farm Sim. I should actually, real quick, set myself as offline on Steam. Dang it. Pressing tab is not very helpful in Farm Sim. So the tipper's gonna be essentially full. I'm gonna do 3 headlands here as well. Same as I did on the other field. And I'm just gonna empty the tipper whenever it's 100%. Because it is a relatively... It's a shortish drive, but for the fields that I own, it's the longest drive that there is to storage right now. Once I swap field 8 over to a crop, that'll potentially be a longer... No, that'll be a shorter drive, so this is going to be the longest drive I'll have for a while. Until I start getting some outlying fields. My steering wheel does not like being moved as quickly as I do it sometimes. It sounds like an angry cat. Oh, it's not as bad as the Driving Force GT if you really spin that thing. David Oldfield has videos where he's really spinning DFGT and it just... that does sound like an angry cat. But this thing just... you can hear the gears moving inside it. And that's probably not the best thing, but I'm not going to take this thing apart to lubricate them. Because I don't want to be spraying WD-40 or anything like that in there. Would it be WD-40 I'd need in there? Because I've got sewing machine oil for my chassis fans. And the reason I got sewing machine oil is because that's actually built for... the sewing machine oil is formulated for high speed use, which the chassis fans most definitely are. I don't think it's really good, it would be good for use in a wheel, because this thing doesn't move anywhere near as fast as the chassis fans. I'm thinking WD-40 might be the better option, if I ever want to lubricate the inside of the wheel. Something like that at least. So, I think what I want to do. I want to get the fields baled today as well. I want to finish this field, get the 2 fields baled up. Do I want to run the cultivator over them today? You'd love to have it. You can get a Driving Force GT relatively cheap. I'm hearing from some people the G29 has come down in price as well. The G27 is going to be right up in price for a while because that is one of the best wheels made. In all honesty, I would say if you want to get a wheel, get one that's made for sim racing because they're reliable and built for strength. That's why I got a G27. It's built for sim racing. I mean, I do a lot of sim racing. I'll be doing some tomorrow for a while. I'll be doing Project Hell, which I need to practice with that damn Audi, else I'll never get a lap done. The R8, Le Mans should be okay. It's just the R18 TDI Pro Quattro Tech Magic hybrid thing that I'm having major issues with because the rear wing stalls out going around that one corner that most people call it bravery. I call it dirt rally, because you gotta be brave around there. And the rear wing stalls, so I just lose the rear end. I don't know exactly what I can do to fix it other than slow down for that corner. Which I don't want to do, because that's going to take away from lap time. By the way, I haven't played Dirt Rally in a while. I'm terrible at it. Talking about Project Cars, I've noticed something in the splash screen while I'm loading in of late, because I do, you know, screw around with it and practice a couple of things off camera. I've noticed on the splash screen that I think 2 logos have magically appeared. One is Chevrolet, and the other is the current IndyCar logo. I think, if I remember right, it's Chevrolet and the current IndyCar logo. So it looks like the next DLC available for Dirt Rally will be Indy Cars, and probably Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which means I can do, on Labor Day weekend in the US, I can do the Indy 500 in Project Cars. And I am going to do the Indy 500 in Project Cars. 200 laps of Indianapolis Motor Speedway in a Dallara DW12. So that's going to be a couple of hours of a stream. That's going to be an entire stream to itself, I think. And if I can, I'm going to learn the 68, I think it was, Lotus. In Project Cars, yeah. I just called the... Oh, did I say the next DLC for Dirt Rally is going to be the DW12? That would be interesting! Drive an Indy car around a rally stage. But there's a 1966 Lotus. I believe it's Jim Clark's Lotus that he used to win the Indy 500. Assuming, like, I'm right. I said, oh my god, that would be hilarious. And that is hilariously wrong. But yeah, the Indy cars do seem to be next up on Project Cars. I'm guessing it's going to be... Are Honda still involved in Indy cars? Yes. It's probably going to be the Hondas and the Chevy Indy cars, because they got 2 different body kits. IMS as well, which that's been promised for a while, and I'm hoping that's going to appear in the next DLC, next update. Ideally, as a free track, that would be amazing. I mean, I'm going to get the DLC anyway, because Project Cars DLC is very reasonably priced for what you get. And I'm going to try and do an Indy 500 in at least the Dallara Indy car. I might try the Formula A car around there, Formula Renault car. There's an old Lotus. That's gonna be a fun one, because that thing has literally 2 gears, fast and very fast. Like, first gear in that thing gets you up to about 150 miles, at least 100 miles an hour. And then second gear is just for cruising, essentially, at high speed. But yeah, I think once Project Hell is done, I'm going to do Project Indy, which is going to be drive everything around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So I'll actually give myself like 5 laps to do that one. Because ovals, even like quad ovals like Indy, relatively easy. But doing them at maximum speed, relatively hard. The old NASCAR is going to be fun to try and take around Indy as well. But yeah, that's good. That's going to be a thing I'm going to do. That's a plan I have. I was originally going to do like everything around Le Mans, but I think everything around Indy will be faster. In every sense of the word. I want to see the max speeds for some of the cars because I think I can max them out around Indy. There are one or two that I'm yet to actually hit top speed in. So what do I want to do here now? I've got the 3 headlands in. Because this is a relatively square field. I think I'm just going to follow this line along here. I think I've screwed up the turn. Yep, I've screwed up the turn. There we go. That looked like I actually knew what I was doing. I am impressed. Do 4 then up and down. No, 3 gives me enough space to turn. 3 in this thing is like a 15-meter headland, so that's more than enough. If I had a bigger harvester, yeah, I'd actually probably do less headlands, because bigger harvester means bigger header, means more maneuverability for turning. But 3 is... Around here, I usually see about 2 on a field. 2 to 3 headlands. On the actual fields I live near, so that's what I'm going by. Is if I go 2 to 3 headlands, and then kind of work from there up and down, should be okay. Because the main issue is just getting space to turn around. Once you can turn around, there's no real problem. And turning is just, you know, full lock left, full lock right, and full lock left again, proper 3-point turn. Yeah, 3 headlands is good. I like to keep it even, so you do 4. I normally see like 2, but then they go in perfectly straight lines, and because I'm going to be following the contour of this edge off to this side, I do 3. Plus it just gives me a bit of extra room to work with, because this harvester in particular, the rear wheels don't turn as much as they probably should when I'm steering. And so it's just for my own ease. Also, when I hit full lock, the force feedback kicks in on my wheel. It just starts buzzing at me. You can't hear it because it's a really light buzz, but there is a very, very small little... Let's see, can I get it on the right here? Oh, it was only on the left for some reason. Oh, it's in a very particular spot. There. I don't know if that's even audible on stream. My wheel is doing a little buzzing and it's kind of bouncing my hand a bit. Back into the harvester now. And we're essentially going to wait for it to empty and then continue on. Now the joy of having the headlands bailed on the other field means we just need to go up and down. It does help if I have this thing shuttle forward, not shuttle reverse. I'm derpy. And for everybody who liked the hatch yesterday, by the way, I still have it. I didn't get rid of it. It's sat beside me. Right up over here sits the hat, which is now on top of my head again. I just thought I'd wear it yesterday for a bit of comedy. Oh, yeah, I'll wear it again today, screw it. Why not? Bit of fun. Why don't I use square bales? Because the square baler is a lot more expensive. I will be doing square bales eventually. It's just that I can't afford the square baler yet. And I'm not going to get one of the like €12,000 modded ones that don't particularly work very well. Because I know there's one or two that are modded. There's Class Quadrant 1200s and whatnot that, while they're functional, they don't really function too well. And they're a bit too cheap. Ready for her to give me... I'm completely ready because they decided to pick two complete nobodies on the team. I saw the team today and I was just like, they've left out a player who's actually on form. I could rent one, I guess. But the issue is I'm going to be doing hay next, and then I'd need to rent the baler again. Because I can only rent for 24 hours. I'm gonna real quick just go on to mod hoster just gonna grab this and put it out. Just gonna go on to mod hoster real quick. Oh yeah, I was looking at the better bale handling mod. I'm not sure if I want that. Categories, because I know it's on mod hoster. Is it under balers? Just want to check the square balers available. That's a nice baler actually. 3,200 litre capacity. That's no. New Holland Big Baler 340. Does that feature like constantly broken headers? That looks to just be a rescale or reskin of the in-game baler. It's in beta as well. I don't trust beta mods. Class Quadrant 3200 is an option. The G2, the Massey Ferguson 2290 here, I think is just a reskin. The Fent is definitely a reskin. The case here is a reskin. It's a reskin. They're all reskins. That's the issue. Like, this isn't. This is actually an entirely new model. The issue is, I believe. Well, number one, it's an uploaded link, which I hate. Number two, they usually have. Oh! Well, I'm not getting that one then, because that's broken. Models run largely on standard script with the usual functions. Oh, hang on, this isn't a reskin. These aren't reskins at all. They're reskins of each other. I hate when mod hoster does this. Stop. Okay, not gonna get that one then. John Deere 678. This one was at least completely broken. Here's a bunch of Rolants. This 1200 doesn't work. This Chrome 1200 just does not work. It's very, very heavy, is it? That's the issue, is a lot of modders don't seem to understand how balers actually work. And like, the only good square baler I've seen is the one that's in game already. A V980. What is this? Is just a reskin of the in-game one, is it? Oh my god, that's a wow, that log error. Once you get going, it's nice. I don't like overly heavy bales or balers. That's a nice looking baler, but it kind of looks a bit silly in its own way. I'm hoping when you stop it's like a house. Yeah, that's the issues. Like, I've only got 200 odd horsepower in that New Holland. This New Holland 980 is messed up. Let's have a look at this logger. I might be able to fix this mod is the thing. It's deleting bales. That's not good. Old function bale delete. That's not good. Let's see, Lua 31, 36, 54, 64. The bales of in-game clip. This thing is just a mess of Lua errors. Oh, hang on. It's not a... It doesn't work with bale extension. It does not work with bale extension. I don't want a baler that doesn't work with bale extension. I know there's a class. It is a class quadrant 1200 farming sitter 15. I know there is one around somewhere. And it is a nice looking mod. The issue is this website here, mods2015.com. Just gonna go through it real quick and see if there's anything particularly. Oh no, this is one of the good. This is a reasonable website. It's got a lot of the same stuff as a lot of the stolen. Oh, it's an upload of files. The EU link. Ugh. You have to be very careful what websites you use to download. Now, obviously, you can see I got ad block running. That's intentional. When I'm on, of course, it's stolen. It's why I literally only use ModHoster and FSUK and Marhu's website. Let's have a look at Marhu's website. It's marhu.net, I believe. It should load me into my profile immediately. Yes. So look at the mods, and I want Anhanger. No, that's just trailers. No, I want Sunstiga, I believe is. That's scripts. That's Garate. The equipment. Is there a nice square baler on here? The Welger looks nice, but it's 2 uploaded links, which means I'd only be able to download like 1 a day. Yeah, there's no good square baler mods for FS15. The BB980 is okay. The BB340 is a reskin. The Quadrant 3200 looks a bit of a mess, and it's an uploaded link. These two are reskins of each other. This case is just a reskin of the in-game one. This 678, at least earlier on in the game, I don't know if this is the specific one. There was one bouncing around that was stolen. It didn't work. The Crone balers. Are these just like the balers from FS13? Full set of emissions, light struts. For Marhu's website, yes. You have to register. It's in German, but it's relatively easy to figure out what the registration is. Very good pack. Okay, I'm just gonna translate this by Google Translate because I can't quite. Yeah. Language isn't an issue, but it does help if you know a bit of German. Because, you know, all of this is constantly in German. I know you can just translate to English. And, you know, it's just as easy to learn the small bit of German that you need, like tractors up here. And, yeah, most of it is Oh, now it's automatically translating. No, it's original. Oh, also, don't trust anything with hardpoint. I've seen a lot of people having issues with hardpoint crashing the game a lot. It's probably down to modders that don't have any idea what they're doing. This is the page I'm on most on Marvel's website, is the GE objects. But you know, you can get some pretty cool stuff off here. You can get a placeable Seed Master, a placeable Beet Master. There is a placeable Compost Master pack somewhere around here as well. So you know, there's no shortage of stuff. That is a really nice pack. I will have to test that at some point. But let's go back into Farm Sim. Otherwise I'll never get anything done today. Any mores? There's a few good mores. OEBs. Well, let's have a look at the mores I've got, and I'll be able to say straight off because I downloaded most of them. These two are off American Eagles modding, which is apparently still up. Not much is on American Eagles modding anymore, unfortunately. The New Holland disc binds are really nice. The Profi Hopper is good just because it's a Profi Hopper. This is the more from the Classics pack. Doesn't particularly work too well. Giants have said it so the Classics tractor is lowered too close to the ground. It just keeps getting stuck. These two are a must-have. This set of butterfly mowers, must-have. They are perfect. This Sipma is okay. It has a weird thing where it likes to just mow grass when it's up for some reason. Big M. If you want big equipment, get the Big M. This Kasiarka Osa, really nice. And the Kier is nice if you want early game. I never thought of that for the grass, but it's a bit small. If you want some verge trimming or something like that, or well, the Profi Hopper specifically for verge trimming. But this, if you want to get silage with the Classics, I would strongly recommend the Kier. It's in the mod list that's below the video, the stream or video, whichever you're watching. But balers, you can see here, it's mainly good square baler, good round balers. This Sipma, if you make like 50 bales out of this thing, a warning pops up in Polish. I've no idea what the warning says, but I saw Dagon using it, and it was just this random Polish warning popped up. So I'm guessing it meant that twine needed to be replaced. The bales are too small to be any use for anything. However, I mean, if I want small hay bales, I'll be getting the Far APN and the bale loader. Oh, I forgot I had this thing. Might end up getting the Agostinius when I move to squares. You've got all the same balers. Yeah. I mean, there's not that many good balers. This Krone Ultimate is really nice looking, but the price is a bit of a counteract for me. I mean, you can get 2 fusions for that much. And you can run 2 fusions for that amount. So I don't know if I'd want the Ultima. But I think in terms of realism, it's probably a realistic price, and I do like the fact that you can change the net wrap and foils. So I probably will end up getting the Ultima. The only big issue I have is that it is insanely heavy. I would literally need to get like a T8 or T9 just to run the Ultima. That's kind of an issue in my book. I might go into GE and see if I can knock the weight somehow. Collecting all the round bales. I don't mind it. I really don't mind collecting round bales. Because once you learn how to stack bales, it actually makes things a lot easier. Like the hardest part about the game is learning how to stack round bales. And dealing with the round bales just deciding to run off on you every so often. However, if you can get them to behave like my bales here that I baled up last night or the night before are doing. The Coronas are like, oh good lord, that Massey is useless then. But the bales off over here, if you can get them onto just the right slope, they're good. Also, I meant to check something. Where on earth did I put the bale spike? If I even have it still. Where's that? Where's the bale? There is a bale spike around here somewhere. I just can't remember where on earth I put it. Ah, there it is! I put it up against... No, that's not the bale spike. Is it? Oh, that's fallen over now as well. Lovely. I might have to reset the bale spike just because I don't know where I put it. This is the issue with my memory is I can get a ton of stuff and then I'll completely forget where I put it. It's not down here, is it? No. Nothing there, nothing there. Doesn't seem to be in there with that equipment. I swear I put it up against a building. Oh yeah, it might be down by the compost. In fact, I think it's just over here. There it is. There it is. I know I put it up against something. Hey Dylan. Ah, lovely, the harvester is emptied. I knew I put it up against something, I just couldn't remember what. And it turns out that something was a bush. Gotta love my bad memory of where things are. Like 3 months after I last used them. Which I guess isn't a bad thing. That said, I will be selling off probably the majority of these bales because I'm just gonna have far too many. What I will almost definitely do though is keep all of the bales for the time being and work towards we'll just sell off all of the grain that I'm getting off this harvest. Then we'll see how many cows we have and kind of work out how many bales we actually do need. Or we could just grow canola or something for the next 2 harvest cycles. You're buying a new combine header, 60 or 70 foot. That is quite a big header. You like your big stuff, Dylan, don't you? I'm not blaming you because it's efficient. Seen or heard anything about a map called Knuston Farm? No, I don't believe so. I don't really keep on top of what maps are in development other than the West Coast. And pretty much anything from Mapper's Paradise I try to keep on top of. To an extent. But I mean, my priority in terms of maps is getting Donetsk done, so not really up to date. Yeah, Bob, he means in real life he's got a 50-foot header at the moment, I believe. Yes, a 50-foot header, because he kept talking about it in streams. It's a nice small dairy farm and it's out. Ooh. I might have a look at that then. Might be fun for the classics to go on. Because you probably know I'm that insane. Issue is I can't use the classics baler. Classics baler only ever spits out hay. No matter what you put in, the bales are hay. Giants still haven't fixed that. You can't... You can try to link. I think I've got links disabled. And I can't set anything to say... Oh, hang on, I think I might be able to. Can I do this real quick? Options. Okay. So I think I've just enabled links. I think I've just enabled everyone to send links temporarily. And that was a mistake, wasn't it? You can try it again now because that Dutch spam got through. And it will work now, courtesy of Gaming Job bloody proving it. Ah! It still doesn't work. How did he manage to send the... I don't know then. I'm gonna automatically block spam again. Wow, I turned off the spam filter for literally 5 seconds and somebody managed to manages to get a message through it. And that's why I have the spam filter enabled. You want a cane or a red rock? I believe red rock are regarded as better. I'm not 100% sure on that. I see more red rocks around here, but that's probably because they're produced a bit closer. Okay, slash that. That's closer. Try just putting spaces like everywhere, and that might help. I'm actively helping you to overcome the spam filter because I think it's actually the website name is being caught up by the spam filter. Just space it out a bit and it should work, in theory. Gainer made new. Well, they're probably better for you to get because you can get it a bit quicker, probably. I was in Cork the weekend before last for reasons. And I was actually down in down the port, down the shipping, down the heavy shipping port down in Cork, and this is related to the stream. Don't worry, this is related to farming. And on the docks there, I was kind of looking down, just seeing what was on the docks, see if I'd recognise anything. 3 in a row. McHale Fusion 3s. Which kind of entertained me that, hey, there's fusions. And I recognised them within like 3 seconds. Hey, that looks familiar. It's a fusion. Didn't work. Have you tried? I don't know. Bob, send it to me in a message or tweet it at me or something. And I'll be able to, like, pass the link on maybe. I don't know how that Dutch dude got past the spam filter, but he did. In theory, that should have allowed links, but that one message literally proved why I have the spam filter on. Oh, it's a Mediafire. You could have said it was a Mediafire link. Yeah, you could have just said, Bob, that it was Mediafire, and then pop the download bit in. Who's it by? Can you tell me? Because I do recognize a few map makers' names, especially like the really spectacularly good ones. They're very easy to recognize. Straight off, because I'd like to know what kind of quality it is. And I'll be checking it out at some point off stream, because oh my god, the salt is real when I try and check a map on screen or on stream. Ed Pool. What other maps has he made? Because that sounds somewhat familiar. Oh, I'm thinking of China. What other maps has he made though? Because I know this is horrible for me. I'm like a first-time map maker, and I judge people by the maps they've already made. His first map, No Errors, very nice. Oh, I'll definitely be checking it out. Might give me some ideas. Because I've noticed that the older map makers have a very set style, and some of the newer ones. He helped Chris 7710 out. Now that's in my mind a bit of a negative. Chris 7710 had very, I'm not going to say very bland maps, but he had a very, 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 very rigid style that really only fit Farm Sim up to about 2013. The stuff he brought out for 15 wasn't good, and his attitude wasn't particularly. This guy's nice and he's not a dick. Yeah. I was trying to be diplomatic about it, because Chris 7710's attitude towards the community was really just toxic, and it's for the best that he's quit. I know there's going to be people out there saying, "Oh, but he was such a good map maker." EJWFS modding Facebook page. I'll have a look at it. I need to make some Facebook pages. I need to make a Facebook page for this channel, and then somehow manage to get some sort of bot to post my Twitter onto it. Or something. Because I've noticed everybody's got Facebook and I'm only on Twitter with this channel. I do have a personal Facebook. But I kind of need to get one for the channel. So I might work on... Oh, I've got other things. I've got tons of stuff that I really need to work on, but I just keep forgetting. I have fun time, ultra mega fun paperwork to fill out to let the student loans company know that I have no money, which I don't. The link's on there, and he's got a couple of screenshots of it. I'm gonna write that down real quick. So I'm gonna do something that looks really silly. And where's my markers? Over there. This is a whiteboard marker. There we go. What you can't see is behind the camera there's actually whiteboards. My desk is awesome, it's got whiteboards. So I'll just pop that onto my whiteboard that I can see very easily. I need to change that schedule whiteboard, in fact. I've got a whiteboard from when I was doing Mod Spotlights, and it's horribly wrong now. Back when I was doing Mulroy Bay. Only has wheat and barley. I'm gonna sound nitpicky. I don't like maps that don't have all the fruits incorporated. Like all the crops. I know that some areas you wouldn't grow canola, some areas you wouldn't grow maize, some areas you wouldn't grow wheat or barley, you'd only grow canola or maize. Some places like Ireland you would not, just wouldn't grow sugar beets unless it's for fodder. Potatoes aren't grown most places, I guess. But I prefer having maps that actually do have all of those incorporated and stores for all of those, or at least areas where you can pop down. Odd tip. You have to alter. Yeah, but here's the thing. And this is really kind of nitpicky, I guess. If you've got stores for, say, wheat and barley, you kind of should have stores for everything else, even if it's one of the Giants multi-stores, like the one that's on this map. I know I've edited the map a bit, but like the one that's on Growing Home by default, that's fine if you just throw all the crops into that. I do not mind if that's the only storage you have on the map, but it should be able to cope with everything. Not just, oh well, this is for wheat and this is for barley, and if you want to grow anything else, you've got to straight sell it. You either have storage for everything or storage for nothing. Especially now that heap tip trigger and placeable heaps are fairly stable. And out tip is very much in testing. It's kind of making it viable. That's the only downside. It's a pretty big downside in my opinion. I mean, I don't... This is going to sound a bit rich saying this while I'm playing on this map. I generally don't like maps that don't have forestry, despite the fact that I never use forestry. Knuston kind of overcomes that because it's just a super good map. Knuston is just a good map, so it kind of overcomes the lack of forestry. But I mean, if it doesn't have forestry and doesn't have a BGA, you're looking at a map maker that's just kind of made a map for FS11, and that's kind of very lazy. And I know forestry is quite hard to get into. I believe forestry is quite hard to get into a map because you got to place the trees correctly. That's something I'm not looking forward to. Yeah, I dislike forestry too, but I think it does add some. It adds an option for the player, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. Because, you know, if you're making a map, you want to give the player options on what they want to do. And for a first map, it's probably amazing. I'm kind of hoping Donetsk falls into that area of like. For a first map, it's spectacular. That's kind of my hope. It's like people say, oh, well, it's first map, so it might not be the greatest, and then they start playing and it's like, wow, hey Summer. That's genuinely what I'm hoping Donetsk is like, well, it's not perfect. You know, there are optimizations that could be made here, there, and whatever. But for a first map? And Donetsk is, because the last time I tried to make a map before Donetsk, I literally put the DEM in, saw that it wasn't working correctly, and left. That's like all of my map making experience before Donetsk. Apart from the edits I've done here and Mulroy Bay. So, you know, essentially all of my map making experience has been on the channel. I don't know, I said yesterday that I might have streamed last night. I did kind of want to, but then some family stuff came up that really, really irritated me. I tweeted about that, and I should probably delete those tweets. I got really, really frustrated by that last night. Like, oh, the internet's not working. Okay, I'll fix it. No, you can't fix it that way. It doesn't suit us if you fix it that way. Or right now. You just told me it's not working. What do you expect me to do? Wait until you complain a bit more and then fix it? I mean, if you're complaining about it not working, it's not working now, and you'll probably want it fixed now. Don't say, oh, it's not working properly, and then say, no, don't fix it now because it doesn't suit us if it's fixed now. And the worst thing is, and I didn't tweet this, I did all the checks that I needed to do on this computer here. I swapped onto the other network, because there are two separate networks running from our router, router, whatever way you want to pronounce that, from the, like we've got two separate Wi-Fi networks. And conveniently, my PC can pick up both of them, and it's the only one that can pick up the higher speed network, which I didn't mention to them that it's higher speed, but it is. So I'm normally running my PC on the high speed network just because it's easier and I'm a super heavy user. I am insanely heavy usage at times, especially with streaming, because this is like time to move out. Probably, but I can't afford to move anywhere. When I have the money, I will. Or like a partner who has a house of their own and like 60-70 meg broadband. Right now I'm kind of happy where I am. I was just frustrated by that entire situation. Because like, don't complain to me about something if you don't want to fix right away. If I can fix it right away, I will fix it right away. Because they were having issues, and the issues were their laptops are terrible. Yeah, not my fault if your laptop's crap. And like, I've noticed laptops are being built worse and worse. Like, budget laptops are just getting progressively worse. Which has kind of vindicated my decision to go gaming PC instead of console and laptop. Because this thing is just a brick. In the best way possible. Normally that's an insult to machinery. No, this thing is just a brick. It will withstand damn near anything. Same with my phone, because I dropped it a good few times already. But I'm kind of happy here. I mean, the only issue that I really have is that I can't stream at night. It is done on purpose. Budget laptops are built badly because, one, it saves money and increases profit, and two, it means that people are going to have to buy laptops more often. Gaming laptops tend to be reasonable. I'd still go for a custom built machine over a gaming laptop, or like any PC that you can buy off the shelf. Custom rigs are just better. Yes, I say this. I was gonna say yes, they're more expensive. They're really not. They're actually better value. If, like, my PC, the one that I'm using right now, cost me, when I built it for all the parts, €2,500. If I wanted to buy the same PC off the shelf from, say, Dell, I'd be looking at $3,000. If I wanted to buy it from Alienware, which is owned by Dell, I'd be looking at probably $3,500 because it comes with the little Alienware stickers. I mean, it's the same PC. I've saved myself 500 to €1,000 just because I decided, hey, you know what? It's genuinely easier. You travel a lot, so you got it custom made and more expensive than a PC. I don't mind. Custom made is fine. Laptops tend to have. Oh, you got one of those rigs, Bob. I've heard about those. One of my friends, I believe, actually has a PC where he can do that. He can just say, hey, well, he's got a PC. But there are PCs out there, and PC makers that, if we'll say, oh, good lord, if we'll say you get, just for example's sake, you get a $10,000 PC, which is a thing. you'd be looking at, you know, 2 i7s in it, quad SLI Titan X, and, you know, 128GB RAM or something like that. And, you know, you're paying $10,000 for it. Those companies that build those PCs, if any new components come out within, I think, 12 or 24 months of that PC being built, they will literally send somebody to your house and replace it for you with the brand new part. Like, if better parts come out, they will literally just send somebody out and say, hey, this is better than what you've got. Have it for free because you've given us $10,000. Laptops are damn near impossible to upgrade. That's kind of the... That's where a lot of PC manufacturers are making their money. That's why shops like Curry's PC World have pretty much stopped selling PC components. Like, I went to... This is a true story. I went to Curry's PC World. I actually went to PC World. Bear that in mind. The name is PC World. And I was needing a... What was I needing? A heatsink for my CPU. I went in and said, hey, do you guys sell heatsinks for processors? He said, no, we don't sell PC components. Like, your name is PC World. This entire company is called PC World. You do not sell components for PCs. Therefore, you are not a world of PC parts. Do you sell PCs? Yeah, they're all like very basic pieces of crap that'll break within 3 years. If even that. They'll go through warranty and break the next day. That kind of crap that they sell. I'm just like, okay, how many laptops do you have? You know, what kind of laptops do you have? All of them! Okay, how about tablets? All of them! So really, you're not PC World, you're Laptop and Tablet Island, aren't you? I mean, I despise companies that do that. It's like, yeah, we're PC World. Okay, so you'd reasonably expect them to have a lot of PC components. Oh, no, we don't sell those. Okay. Oops. Actually, that wasn't even the most infuriating part. The most annoying or concerning part of that day. Because later that day, I went to a PC repair shop. In fact, well, a laptop and PC repair shop. Okay? Asked for a CPU heat sink. Dude behind the counter was Indian or from the Indian subcontinent somewhere. And without trying to sound racist, I kid you not, he literally said to me, CPU heatings? No, that's the opposite of what I want. I do not want CPU heatings. I want a heat sink. CPU heatings? Okay, I'm gonna go now because you clearly have no idea what your job actually is. How do people that stupid work in a PC repair shop that they don't actually understand what a heatsink is? And it wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't, you know, one of the most essential parts of a PC. What did I just do? I hit the Windows button. I'm gonna turn on gaming mode. That's why I go for like Newegg or dabs.ie now. If I want a new component, is like, okay, need a new component. I'm going to specifically look up the component I want. Because I know what I want. None of the idiots in most repair shops will. Now, there are a few that will, and will actually make good recommendations. For example, I think this was the same day as well. I went to this really old looking shop. This, like, really old looking shop that had like, really old graphics cards in the window. And clearly had been a bit overlooked because of the internet. And I went in and said, hey, do you have like thermal paste and a heatsink? He said, yeah. I could sell you this stuff, and held up like gold, or like this really expensive thermal paste, is it? I could sell you this stuff, but really, that's just a waste of your money. What you'll be wanting is something like this, and he gave me like the cheapest one in the shop. Clearly not trying to upsell me, like trying to undersell me. And I was like, okay. And instead of getting like thermal remover, TIM remover, or something like that, use some baby wipes. Make sure you dry it off nicely, and you can use some cling film to put the new thermal paste on. Like, that is the most redneck solution to a tech problem I have ever heard. And you know what the really funny thing is? That actually does work, because that's how I replace thermal paste. A baby wipe and cling film. I just redneck computer repairs. Also, when I get back down to the field, I'm going to be running an ad because I completely forgot to it an hour into the stream. I'm half tempted to start running ads every half hour in the Farm Zoom streams, but I don't know yet. I am trying to maximize ad revenue again, so because I'm flat broke. I'm broke. I did get some good news regarding money, however. Some stuff. Well, the other project. I did mention there's another project that will eventually be paying. I got word during the other day actually, that from June, July, sometime around there onwards, I'll be getting paid half-time. Or part-time, not half-time. So I'm going to pause the game here, swap to the webcam screen. There we go. And I'm just going to run a few ads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks. 5 clicks of ads. And I'm going to take this opportunity to check my emails. Apparently my PayPal account will be closed in 24 hours. Oh, good lord. From service at int.paypal.com via wooster.rathergoodhosting.com. Well done, you moron spammers. I love those spams that are like, your PayPal account will be closed soon. Oh, hey, here's the exact same spam email in an account that isn't associated with PayPal. It is a scam. I double checked a while back. The PayPal email, I can check this real quick. From PayPal. Yeah. The PayPal emails come from, I actually get one that was regarding my transactions. Yeah, PayPal at e.paypal.com. And the spam is from service at inti.paypai, paypiepai.com. And I'm just going to double check with this one. Yeah, any other emails from PayPal are like at paypal.ie. So that's a spam. Always double check the email address those emails come from if they're allegedly from PayPal. Also, if you find an email in an account that's not actually registered with PayPal, because my personal email address is my PayPal email. I got an email from the same spammers in the business email address for the channel. That is not registered with PayPal. That's how you know. Is my other email address doesn't have that email. However, there is a guy who's really trying to be nice and sending me jobs that require like 7 years experience in science, which I don't have. I get that he's doing his job, and he just clearly hasn't read me CV. Because I know that if I applied, they'd say, oh, you don't have enough experience. Well, I was told that apparently by CV. No. So let's return to Farm Sim. and let's just get the harvester going. I am super cynical at times, and I know this, and I'm proud of it. Because let's face it, being cynical is what actually gets you forward in life. At times, it definitely saves you money. Because I've just got a beep on my phone. What is my phone beeping over this time? Somebody has come online that I spoke to before on a website. I gotta say, Badoo. If anybody ever uses Badoo, it's got like 7 or 8 million users, or 65 million or something like that as they claim. If you talk to somebody on there, and you have the Badoo app on your phone, it will literally tell you if they ever upload a picture again. Like, if you talk to somebody once, just say hello. They never reply. It will spam you forever about anything they upload. And it's just like, I don't need to know this guy farted 10 minutes ago. Stop trying to tell me this. I'm in a very cynical mood today. I don't mind, but you know, it is a bit of a cynical mood. I hope nobody's put off by it. I hope nobody's put off by me just complaining about things today. Because there's one thing I'm not talking about. That's because I'm going to follow Irish broadcasting law for the day. So I'm not even going. Well, I can say what I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the general election that's coming up tomorrow. Other than to say, if you're Irish and you're registered to vote, please do vote for your preferred candidates. Because guess you're on. Bye, Bob. If you're Irish, do vote for your preferred candidates tomorrow. That way, the actual Dáil is more representative of what the people want, as opposed to what some of the people want. I know who I'm voting for, and I know who I'm not voting for. But oh, god dang it! Get in, stay in, go over there. Sounds like an abusive relationship. Good lord. Get in, stay in, and go over there. So I got into a bit of a bad habit again. I have bought a box of cigarettes. You're voting for Tony Blair. I completely agree with you. I'm voting for George W. Bush. He was a genius. Hey Dylan. Vote for Bush. A vote for Bush is a vote for terrorists. Terrorism. Oh, but I love Bush. I love George W. Bush. The really funny thing is, he's a genuinely intelligent guy. He just couldn't speak to save his life. That's a real shame as well, because by all accounts, George W. Bush is highly intelligent. He's just not a very good public speaker. Oh yes, it is all about Trump, isn't it? Now that's an election I can talk about. Go Trump and Sanders. Let's get the idiot against the only person who's actually talking sense and has stood by his morals. And has morals that are worth standing by. Come on. Come on, Harvester. Get in there. There we go. I'm voting for the person that came around and actually gave me money. Because, as everybody knows, an election is the voice of the people. And as everybody also knows, money talks. Have I got the new mess? Oh, I knew I meant to download something! Haven't downloaded it yet. Into any of my mod folders. I got like 6. Haven't downloaded it yet. I probably will. Possibly be replacing the Mini Massey. Yet. Oh, summer. Work is terrible. Be lazy like me. Work on YouTube. By the way, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. My job on the other project at the moment, I kid you guys not, my job right now is to wait for other people to do their jobs. Which sounds just stupid. And that is like it will be a full-time job once I can do it. You need to keep making money. Yeah, YouTube isn't particularly good at that. In fact, Summer, just put a false copyright claim on one of PewDiePie's videos, you'll be fine, because apparently there's no repercussions for putting false copyright claims on videos. And you know, you don't have to ever pay back the money, because reasons. Farming is the best work. I don't know if I agree with you, Dylan, because you've got to go out in the rain. I prefer science, because it's literally just sitting there doing the same thing for hours. And you start setting ridiculous goals for yourself. Just the most mundane things, you decide to set a goal of, can I do it faster than I did last time? You know, can I do this 96 well played in under 5 minutes? Which I can, which I did once. I think I worked it out as like 6 seconds per well, which genuinely amazed me because it was like 6 steps. So it was 1 second per, or less than a second per step. Science is genuinely fun if you can get your motivation right. And 90% of the time my motivation is, can I do this faster? And as well. Yeah, because the more efficiently you work, the harder it looks like you're working. And the more you can actually get done. And technically then YouTube is the best work because the joy of working at home with no proper hours. I was gonna say YouTube is probably the best job in the world because you can get paid for doing what you love. Like I love doing YouTube. I absolutely love it. And the only issue is I don't have like 1 million subs. And it's not a viable source of income. Like PewDiePie, I really respect the guy. I don't like his videos, I don't like his content, but I do respect him as, like, professionally. I do respect PewDiePie and Markiplier and people like that I don't necessarily like their videos, but my god, they're good at what they do. And they've got their audience down to a T. They know exactly who they're putting their videos out to. Then again, they got like channel managers and all that stuff. Get free subs. I'm like, oh my god, no, no, I'm not ever doing that. Because I could pay. I'm a member of a website that has like $5 deals. Fiverr.com. And I think it's like I'm not even kidding, they actually allow this on the website somehow. And you can pay, I think it's $5 to get 5,000 subs. I was like, why would you do that? There's no sense of achievement there. You've literally just spent money to get subscribers that'll never watch your videos. Frankie on PC and 1080p. I've watched a couple of his videos. He's actually quite good. I rather enjoyed them. Not my style of videos that I particularly like watching on a regular basis, but yeah. Ooh, I've stopped watching somebody recently because their videos started getting my nerves. Oh, Fadman. Really respect Fadman. I love him, but his personality just kind of grates on me at times. He's just too upbeat all the time, and it irritates me. It irritates me that I can't be that upbeat. I mean, this is about as upbeat as I get, and I talk very... I've got a bit of a monotone going on. I know this. But Fadman is just so hyperactive. It really grates on me at times. And I'm not complaining. I really appreciate the fact that he can get into that kind of mindset for every video he does. All the money he makes, he gives to charity. Oh my god, that is massive respect right there. PewDiePie does a lot for charity as well. I think last Farming Man 19. I may check him out. I really like watching like One Lonely Farmer. He has a lot of opinions that I don't agree with because he supports Trump, and he's very, very strongly Republican. But in terms of his, how did I manage to honk the horn there? Why is one of the macro keys bound to 0? I need to download Razor Synapse again and fix that. That is hilarious. What's this one? Oh, that one's bound to 9. What's this one? Oh, that's 8. That's the macro I definitely don't want to be using. He plays Farm Sim. Oh, I might check him out. Yeah, I've nothing but respect for people who do stuff for charity. I'm kind of planning at some point, probably for about 1,000 subs. Once I get up to 1,000 subs, I will be doing, and this is my plan and my hope. Once I get to 1,000 subs, I will be doing a live stream for charity. I will be doing a live stream, and I will be donating all of. I'll be asking you guys for donations throughout, and everything that's made throughout that live stream, everything you guys donate will be going towards the Irish Cancer Foundation. Because cancer is something we need to get rid of. We need to get rid of cancer as a species. He's got 1,300 subs. I will check him out later on today. The issue I have with a lot of farm sim YouTubers though is that they... And this is going to be very niggly and kind of a bit nitpicky, but that's the kind of person I am, I guess. Is that they just play so horribly unrealistically. Hey, Farmer Jeff. Can I just call you Jeff? Because I'm going to keep calling you Jeff. Because Jeff doesn't make sense to me. Jeff does. But there's a point of realism that I like in Farm Sim. I don't like people who are like, oh, I'm gonna... Like, Bill's T-Max is terrible for this. I really appreciate his videos where he's doing work on various projects. But his Farm Sim Saturdays, he puts like 50-meter headers on everything. It's like, no, please stop. This, no. If you can't get the pipe out farther than the header shouldn't be on the harvester. And that's why I don't get a lot of those mods that are just like, no, this just doesn't exist in real life. Like, there's 50 and 60 meter cultivators out there. No, I'm never gonna get one of those. How am I? I am good. How are you? Is it always a story going? I kind of had one going here, but then I started live streaming and just completely dropped the story. I'm kind of annoyed that my Coldborough edit ended up... Oh my god, it might not. I might be able to resurrect Coldborough Park Farm. I'm gonna have a look through my external hard drive later on tonight. And if I can resurrect Coldborough Park Farm, I'm gonna try and get the story going again. I think I might have put my mod folders on my external hard drive when I was I think I might have done that. Because I was planning on wiping the hard drive. I might have Coldborough Park Farm. Still. I am definitely... Am I using the Farm Sim steering wheel? No, I'm using a Logitech G27 because the Farm Sim wheel to me is too childlike. It's too much of a toy. And Farm Sim isn't the only... Don't forget to check out... Oh, I won't. I've actually got the Facebook page written on a whiteboard magnet thing on my whiteboard. I've got magnets that are like mini whiteboards that I just stick up on my whiteboard with important notes. Which reminds me, I need to clean off one of them and actually sort out my whiteboards a bit. Also, I want to get more whiteboard markers. They're things that I kind of want to do. Because I find that whiteboards are very helpful for organization. Going back to the wheel, I use a Logitech G27 because Farming Sim isn't the only game I use a wheel with. I play ATS, that was yesterday. Tomorrow I'll be playing Project Cars, which I'll be moving the webcam down a bit for that. Well, pointing it down a bit, so you can see my actual inputs into the vehicles. I play some other games off camera as well that I like using the wheel with. R Factor 2 is one of them, and my god, R Factor 2 runs like crap on my rig, and I don't know why. And Game Stalker. Game Stalker is amazing if you haven't played it. I suggest getting it. It's essentially R Factor 1 that's been repackaged with a bunch of what would have formerly been R Factor mods in it that are now just developed by Riza Studios. Very, very good game. Very well supported. Why is there like... Have I put barley in a funky place? Have I put barley down at the bottom there? Interesting. Also, I do realize I'm going to have to reset the... I'm going to have to reset the fertilizer spreader because it's fallen over. Yeah, I put those in funky places when I edited the map. If you're not aware, by the way, this is not the normal Knuston Extended that you can download off FSUK. The majority of the map is, but the yard back there, the cow area, and anything to do with compost, I put in myself. It is a private edit that I made. Relatively simple edit, but if you want to have the map similar to mine, do it yourself. I'm not releasing this. I'm not 100% sure. I might talk to Pretorius about doing like a limited release where I just link it in a video someday or during a stream someday, off like Google Drive or something. But I don't plan on releasing this map. But I might get in contact with Pretorius and see what he says about that. Although if I do release it, I'll have to do some more editing to fix some mistakes I made. And some bugs I've managed to create. It's almost empty. So we're almost finished with this field, which means we'll be baling soon. And I think I'm going to take the next ad break once we're finished with this harvest. Because then we can go straight into baling and be good. Am I having frame rate issues on the stream? I'm driving with like a half-second delay at the moment because I'm watching OBS. Big up the baling. I really like round baling. I know the Giants round bales are broken as all hell, but I really like them. Really like round bales, because that's actually what I see a lot more than square bales around here. Is like every field is round baled. Squares are a bit odd around here. Most of the balers I've seen have been round balers. So, you know, it's a bit odd for me to do square baling in my own mind. I would eventually move on to a square baler when I can afford one. But right now, round bales make more sense to me. I'll actually move on to a square baler and then fusion for silage bales. Because a fusion, it makes... The physics is what really holds me back, yeah. And Giant's locking script too. I know I could get one of those auto-load trailers that are a bit cheaty. I mean, Bullet Bill did one. But I get why people use them. I really do. I know the physics and bale handling leaves a lot to be desired. I just think they're a bit cheaty, in my opinion. And that's one of the points where I know I compare myself to Daggerwin a reasonable amount. I know he's a lot more popular than me, and I probably know the reasons why. But he uses the auto-load scripts, or the auto-load scripted bale trailers, and that's something that I just can't agree with. You auto-load them off to the yard. See, that loses half the challenge. Half the challenge is loading them onto the trailer. And I'm one of these weird people. I cannot use a telehandler. The controls confuse me. So everything that I do is done with a tractor or a wheel loader. Or even the skid steer. Which, I'm going to be honest, I am kind of tempted to get the bale fork for the skid steer and actually use that to load up the trailer. That would not be a bad idea. However, I'm not entirely sure that would be good video. You may as well shoot yourself if you're doing. The trick, Bob, is to go slowly. You want to really learn throttle control on whatever you're using. Like G27, I got... Oh, there's a bit of a dead zone. It shouldn't be a dead zone. What's going on here? Oh. Well done, me. I got the harvester stuck. You use a keyboard and mouse. Yikes. Yeah, that I can understand you using auto loaders if you're using keyboard and mouse. That's like the one situation where it's perfectly fine. Because that's how I played FS13, was keyboard and mouse, and I was like, oh my god, this is... How do people do bale handling with this stuff? Because I've seen people like doing proper bale handling keyboard and mouse styling. And I'm just like, no, that's... You're either very good or very insane. And I know I'm very insane, but that's too far for even me. Because I would spend hours trying to do that. Whereas at least with Xbox controller or steering wheel, you can feather the throttle a bit. You know, you can harvest it 1 kilometer an hour if you really want. Or you can just go flat out like I do, because 6 miles an hour, which is what this is, 10 kilometers an hour is about 5.5 to 6 miles an hour, is a somewhat realistic speed for harvesting. A bit fast, yes, but it, you know, it's not entirely unrealistic. I am actually tempted. I've seen some Lexions out there that have like scripts that block up the header and all that. I'm really tempted to get them because I think they go really nicely with soil mod and the specific mod set I'm using. I think they'd really complement my playstyle. About 4 miles an hour, that's about 6 kilometers an hour. Yeah, this is a lot closer to realistic. Yeah, you're right, Bob. 4 miles an hour, or 6 kilometers an hour. You have that Lexion. Where can you download it? What site's it on, Bob? Don't send a link because you know that doesn't work. Just tell me what site and I can find the damn site. Are they on ModHoster actually? Because usually when there's a cool script like that, it's ModHoster. Or is it... Well, if there's a cool script like that and it actually works, it's usually ModHoster. And I meant to try and get a link from Daggerwin, but I completely forgot. I thought so. I thought ModHoster. Yeah. I'll once I'm finished this harvest, I'll actually look them up. There's always New Holland too. Is there a New Holland that does it? Because that'd be cool. I mean, I like my New Holland pack because they're realistic sizes and stuff. But I've kind of used that a bunch in Cobra Park Farm, and I want to try a new harvester. Those Lexions just look like they will suit my playstyle so much. And while they slow things down, they do have reasonably wide headers. I'm going to empty the harvester again. I kind of thought I'd pass 2 hours streaming before I finished the harvester. It's a big header though. But that's what I can move on to next, is the Lexions. Once I'm kind of done with this fake class, I can move on to the real thing. Because that's what I'm looking for, is something to replace this with. Do you know, is the script on the header or the harvester? Like, if you put a different header on the harvester, will it have the same script running? Or is the script just on the header? Or have you even tried that? Because that's the kind of thing I'd try just to see where the script lies. Without opening up the XML and cheating. Let's look at that. It's a CR1090? Oh, you mean there's a New Holland with the script? Yeah, the CR1090 is a bit big. I'll probably go for the Lexions first, and then maybe move on to the 1090. Because those Lexions look nice. They look really nice. I like the models. And it's quite rare, I say that about mods. You believe it's the harvester? You know I'm gonna test it, Bob. I would expect it to be on the harvester, not the header. But you never know with modders. They could throw random things in places. Perfect for an English map. Yeah, this is an English map. This is this is a real English farm. I've just screwed it up with my edits. But that's definitely something I'm gonna probably actually download during the break in a minute or two. And I won't load up one of my other mod folders, but I will just reload this game. Which means I'll need to mute farm sim again, because that's the easiest way of getting rid of the giant horn that plays. Because if you were here for the start of the stream, you've probably noticed that there were a few blings. Like this. That was me turning off Glimpse. I turned off Glimpse for one very simple reason. It's because it overlaps it. That's two different things overlapping there, I just noticed. How do I... Oh, it's not. It just looks like it because it's a bit badly designed. So that's the harvesting done. Can I just ignore the random scraggly bits that I've left? Really does look like I know what I'm doing here, doesn't it? When in fact I'm just kind of guessing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the harvester and the T7 up to the farm. We shut them both off because we got the Deutz on the baler. And then we'll take an ad break. 100% looks like I know what I'm doing. Totally. And in fact I was just kind of trying to figure out where the hell the best place to stop this thing was to reverse it. Does this wheel mirror what I'm doing? Kind of. That's one of the big problems. Look at the wheel. Like the in-cab view of this is a bit atrocious. Mirrors don't work, which is a bit of a shame. Nothing is animated and it looks very 2D. It looks like you're just set in a 2D environment and kind of just plonked in there and the mouse changes what bits of the 2D you're seeing. Which technically is true, because that's what all 3D models are, is just 2D environments. The mouse changes what 2D environment you're actually seeing. But it doesn't look very nice. And it's a shame, because this is otherwise a perfectly fine harvester. Except for maybe the sound, which is a bit... Oh, the in-cab sound mod is broken. Hooray! Cab sound broke. But it is a very, very nice, if a bit old model. It's one of the combines you commonly see lying around on a map somewhere as decoration. So let's put this back into its shed and it'll be done for another little while. I'm just going to kind of abandon the New Holland when we park that. Or when we've emptied it at least. Because I think the next time I'll need it will be for unloading the the bunker, so it'll be fine. And you. Would you believe I actually... Would you believe I actually did watch the new album recently? And it's this dirty already. Also, we have 46.1 hours on it. Which isn't a whole hell of a lot, but in farm sim terms I guess it is. Because most people in farm sim change tractors every 4 hours. That's one thing I genuinely dislike about... I'm not going to say hate. I dislike about most people who do YouTube videos is every video they've got a new tractor. It's like, that's fine and all, but there's no continuity there. You've just essentially changed up the entire map between the last two videos because entertainment purposes. Which I get. You know, I get that people want to see different things, but I'm one of those people who like continuity and consistency. Just gonna abandon that there, and we're gonna hop into this. Pause the game, swap to the scene, and just click the add button a bunch of times. And let's go into this one. So it'll be under harvesters. Combines and excavators and class. It's the 580s and 600, isn't it? Toggle cameras, straw heaps, turn wheels, usage. This is the one I'm thinking about, isn't it? Do believe so. Yes, this is the Lexions that I'm thinking about. So let's download that. And I'll just very quickly throw this into the mod list. Class Lexion 580 slash 600 pack harvesters. Oh, it's equipment pack class harvesters. I'll just grab the link real quick, paste that in. That's that done. 580 and 600. Yeah, I had a look at the pictures, so that is exactly what I want. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to save farm sim right here, and I'm going to exit out completely, and now I'm going to relaunch the game and very quickly mute it using the Windows default volume mixer, because I don't want to destroy all of the headphones of anybody watching this. Meant to double check if I got another mod downloaded, but I'll do that later. I can do that in a minute, I think. Checking my emails again. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Nothing in there, we're good. And just pause the game again. The Massey pack. Okay, I'll exit out again. That and that. Download. Oh, it's zipped up. Dang it, Bullet Bill. Download the 945 as well. And I might as well check if I downloaded exactly what I think I did last night. Yes. And did I remember to? Yes. So I downloaded another mod last night that I forgot to put into the mod list. It is equipment. It is Bremner. And it is a trailer slash that. And that'll be helpful for seeds. And as well as that, we have I have to actually open my mod folder. Documents. My games. Where's my games? Farming Simulator 15. Mods. Yes, thank you, WinRAR. Can't currently see chat because I've got all of the windows open. So we then have the Massey Ferguson hack V2. Do I put tractors in as vehicle? Vehicle hack Massey Ferguson tractors. I'm just going to manually enter this one. fs.uk.com/mods/view/Massey-Ferguson hack -2, and then the Massey Ferguson 945, that's also V2 equipment, also Massey Ferguson, and that is a front loader adapter. Whoops. Copy. Paste. And there we go. Music making it too intense. I just want to check now if the 945 was in fact zipped up properly. Yes, that one was as well. So now we can relaunch Farm Sim, and I can show you exactly what I've downloaded. Hooray! Do I still have Farm Sim muted? That'd be helpful. Yes. Okay, so now we're going back into Farm Sim. After all of the nonsense and screwing about. And don't worry, there won't be a RIP headphone users because I've muted the game. I actually have it muted in Sound Mixer, so listen. Silence. Now I'll pause it and unmute it. So, what I just downloaded was, it's all going to go into mods in tractors. I hope. Somewhere along here, yes. The 4 Massey Fergusons, the 5712, the 6613, the 6616, the 7718. They are all essentially rescales of the 7726 over here. Downloaded them, they're all good. In front loaders we have the Massey Ferguson 945, although this was already here, the 945, which I trust, which is why it's going straight into the main mod folder. In harvesters, ooh! The Cohen Terra Track variants as well. Class 600 and 580, I'll probably get a 580 first. The reason I got these is they've got cool scripts. And over here we've got 9 and 10 meter headers, which means they probably will be the next set headers that I'll get. In tippers, a Brantner Roz overloader, and somewhere over here, hopefully, is the Krohn Emsland overloader. Which I kind of realised once I downloaded this, it's got dolly wheels. That's not necessarily good, but this Brantner is quite large, and it can be used to refill seeders with the seed mod. What else did I download recently? Is there anything new in here at all? Other than like the classics pack, which is completely useless in most ways. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's essentially it. That's all I've really downloaded of late. The Bailey trailer. Let me have a look at the Bailey trailer real quick. BTApper 22. Let me have a look at my mod list. The Bailey trailer is from fsmodding.com. And I, because I own the channel, can do this. There's the link to the Bailey trailer. And that's something I really like about YouTube. You can disable you can disable links, but because I'm the admin, I can send links in chat. Yeah, that's the link to the Bailey. These Hilkins are alright, they're not great. The traction on these is a bit wonky, so I don't tend to use these. The Bailey's actually quite nice. You must have missed it. Possibly. I just kind of happened across it one day and I was like, oh, that's actually going to be, that'd be really cool to have. And it turns out that it works quite well as well. So this baler, there's one small problem with it when I've got it on the back of the Deutz. It doesn't want to start up. It doesn't want to move at all. And that's mainly down to the Deutz just not having the power. It's a power issue, not a weight issue. But we are now baling. And that is our 10th bale from this field. From this one field, where I've only done the headlands. And this thing started off empty. So if I can reasonably say I won't make a bale from the last bit of the second field, I will not make a bale. And I'll just run down there with a forward wagon and pick it up. Because I don't want to be making like half a bale, because I'm going to want to make hay next. And that yeah, that kind of means I'll need the baler again. I won't have 200 plus. Oh, with all the grass. With all the hay bales, yes. But the 179 is from all of the meadows. That was the 160 something from all the meadows. But I will have probably over 100 bales here. Easy. And that's not necessarily a problem though. Because each of these bales is going to reach a certain price, and I can sell them. And what's more, I can give them to cows and make even more money off them. Hey Joe, how are you doing today? I've just gone on a mod downloading spree for once. That's the most mods I've downloaded in one go in a long, long time. Because let's face it, a lot of the mods for Farm Sim now are a bit atrocious. They leave a lot to be desired. Also, I'm going to need to refuel this thing. I'm doing good. Let's skip this line here. Go up here. I'm just after finishing up the harvest of all our fields. Oh yeah, that's a thing. You couldn't see that, but I could. Glimpse had decided to reopen and overlap with everything. Not entirely sure if I want to keep Glimpse. Because you can't see this HUD, but I've got an extra HUD up in the top left corner, where I actually am. Well, the area that I'm covering actually has another HUD, and that's telling me how full implements are, which is extremely handy if I'm harvesting. Because I can just look at it and say, oh, well, the tipper's 73% full at the moment or something. And it seems to update in real time, which is... The only downside is it's only giving me percentages, and I'm sure I can change an XML somewhere for it to give me better feedback. But it's not the end of the world. I really just love baling. This is so relaxing. Our next job after this is to mow the meadows, but I'll wait until next in-game day to do that, because I want to grab another growth stage for the grass so that I do. I'm going to lose I'm probably going to lose some yield from the grass by letting it grow another stage. Through soil mod, but I'll gain some from, I'll gain probably more by letting it grow another stage than I'll lose from soil mod. So on balance, is probably a good idea. Just because I want to get a second cut done, and do I have a stream every day? I try to. I'll probably take like 1 or 2 days a month off, just to give myself time to de-stress and whatnot, and just chill. But I do stream every day currently. Won't always be Farm Sim. Tomorrow it's going to be Project Cars, which is one of the least fun streams of the week, but simultaneously the most entertaining, probably. Because Project Cars is me driving every car in Project Cars around the Nürburgring. So it's like at least 20 minutes per car. The car I'm currently on, I've already spent an hour trying to get it around. And it just keeps failing. Your streams of the weekend. I don't know if I'll check one of your streams out, because I do stream myself. And my weekend streams are my chill streams, so... They're actually intended to be chill streams, at least, with Donetsk and Fallout. That's the entire intention of putting with the weekend, is just so that I can take 2 days a week and just do something that's normally reasonably relaxing. Fallout, I know, will probably get stressful at some point. But it's a game that I don't usually play, and means the wheels off my desk and whatnot, so... yeah, it's a different experience. And wow, my tinnitus is playing up all of a sudden. Wow, that's bad. And it's gone again. I hate when it does that. Tinnitus, if you're not aware, is a persistent ringing in the ears which occasionally brings a new tone into the mix, and that new tone is usually a lot louder, because if you have tinnitus, you learn to tune out the background ring, and occasionally you just get this random extra tone in your head that's really, really loud because you don't expect it. And it's normally just in the one ear. So, yeah, that's a thing that I don't know if I suffer from it or just deal with it. But yeah, that's a thing that goes on with me, is I quite literally never get a moment's silence. Probably it's part of the problem, part of the reason I don't sleep particularly well. I'm going to start heating my room now, which sounds really silly. I'm pleasantly warm at the moment. Hey Oni, you're only like 2.5 hours late, it's fine. I'm good, how are you? I've been starting streams at almost random times lately and I'm getting a bit annoyed by it. I'm going to try and go live at 3 every day, which is actually the reason I've just turned on my heater. Again, seems like weird logic. Seems like there's no logic. The logic there is, and I discovered this last night. Actually, I discovered this a few weeks ago and it didn't particularly work for a little while. If I heat my room a certain amount, if I have my room like pleasantly warm, I get really tired really quickly, and I tend to be able to get to sleep at a reasonable hour. So my plan is that I'm going to start using my heater as a sleep modulation, and the plan is that I'll be able to sleep better, or at least at more reasonable times. How long do my streams last? From whenever I start until about 7 PM. The weekend streams might start later, might start earlier. Fallout usually starts, I try and start that about 2 or 3. Today I started at 3. Donetsk, basically, Donetsk is a weird one because it goes from whenever I start until whenever my hand hurts too much. Because that's constant mouse things and it gives me a small touch of carpal tunnel. So that's really good by pain, as is Project Cars to an extent. Which is why I went for a walk today. I'm trying to increase fitness and reduce fatness. Because I know I'm overweight. I need to work on that. And I am trying to, but over the last week or so, today's the first day in a long time where I've actually woken up early enough to be able to go for a walk before it's free. Also, today's one of the few days where it's dry enough for me to do that. Because by the time the stream finishes, it's dark outside and I don't want to go for a walk when it's dark. Because that's when the weirdos and werewolves appear. I don't know about the werewolves, but the weirdos definitely appear at night. But hopefully during the summer, this is my plan, I'll be able to go for walks after the stream as well. So if I start getting myself into a routine where I'm up early, go for a walk, have breakfast, do the stream, and then like have time to chill out afterwards. Hopefully during the summer, when I'll probably just be naturally busier through various other stuff going on. Hopefully during the summer I'll be able to get up, go for a walk, have breakfast, do the stream, go for another walk, and then chill out and go to bed. That's my plan. It's my self-help lose fatness plan. And also I'm kind of hoping to get... I should buy a windrower. I do have one, I just can't be bothered using it. I don't like using a windrower for straw. Unless it's like insanely tightly packed up straw, where there will be no chance of me getting a... yep, there's another version of Knuston on the way. There is... It looks to be interesting, but I'm probably not going to play it, because then I'll have to port all the edits over. And I don't want to edit another version of Knuston. This one took me like 3 hours to do, and I'm not going to try and do that again. Because number one, that would just end up with me being angry at breaking something. And number two, it would take away from time that I could potentially work on Donetsk. So, like, if I do decide that I want to swap onto new Knuston, I think he's calling it Knuston Extended Gold Edition or something. Or at least that's what I'd call it if I were him. If I do decide to swap onto whatever the hell he calls it, Knuston Farm, new, whatever, I'll probably just swap the vehicles XML in. And edit the cow zone so it meets health and safety. I'm willing to lose the compost master on the newer edition of Knuston because I can edit everything to the way it is here. And I'll deal with the default Knuston yard, which I don't particularly like, but I can appreciate the default yard is probably a lot closer to reality than my version. My version is just to suit my own personal wants. Have you tried the Massey pack by Bullet Bill? The version 2, which isn't broken, I'd add. Apparently, all the errors with the Massey and the front loader were rookie errors, and I think Bullet Bill might have seen me complaining or something because he had a bit of a gripe on FSUK, and I wasn't complaining about Bullet Bill making the errors. I was complaining about the FSUK testing team not copying the errors, which is probably the bigger of the two problems. Because people make mistakes. That's perfectly fine. But when there's like errors that show up in the log or are blatantly obvious, the testing team should be picking up on that. And they just don't. And like that's the entire point behind having a testing team, is to catch any errors or small mistakes that the mod author or map maker might have made, and just say, hey, whoa, you need to fix this. The front wheels weren't aligned. Yeah, only one of the dual wheels actually worked. The front right dually, I think it was, wasn't a thing. The implement schema for the front loader wasn't a thing, which was just a genuine mistake, and that's fine. Like two small rookie errors, fine. The front loader had far worse errors, I think. I mean, David Oldfield said they're rookie errors, anybody can make them. For the testing team to miss major log errors like we're on the front loader, that raises a lot of questions about the FSUK test team. It raises a lot of questions about the FSUK test team. And I've had those questions for a while. Is that they seem to just be passing most mods they get in off as gold standard now, regardless of errors, and not checking they don't seem to check the log, which is the really infuriating thing. It's like if you look back over some of the older mods that came through gold standard though, or silver standard, was like, this is a small error and as a result it's silver standard, it's not gold standard. Like, I'm fine, I was fine with FSUK like putting the Massey pack up as silver standard because of that small error. That's perfectly fine. But gold standard, no. Call me old fashioned, but gold standard should be something you aspire for, and you don't aspire to have errors in a mod. Ever. Silver standard, yeah, there can be some small mistakes. Gold standard shouldn't have any errors. I'm pretty sure Bullet Bill was annoyed that it was silver, that it had errors as well. And the worst thing is people were going off on him on FSUK about having the errors in the first place, and it's like, well, the issue isn't Bullet Bill, the issue is the testing team for missing them. Like, the whole point of having a testing team is so that you can have more than one person and a bit of oversight, so that, you know, if one person misses it, person number 2 might be able to catch it. But only one person tests mods in FSUK per mod. So if somebody misses the errors, well, it's gold standard because I didn't see them. Those errors don't exist if I don't see them. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who's gonna completely misrepresent these remarks now and say, oh no, you're going off of Bullet Bill. No, I'm really not. I respect Bullet Bill. He makes damn good mods and damn good maps, and he's far more skilled than I probably ever will be. It was a rookie error. It was his bad. He doesn't deserve to get all the flack for that forever. It's FSUK's mod testing team needs to, I would say they need to have a meeting and go over what gold standard actually means. Because right now gold standard is not gold standard. But by and large most of the mods on FSUK are fantastic. And I'm sure, without a shadow of a doubt, there's a whole bunch of crap that gets uploaded daily that never makes it to download page. I'm 100% sure there's a whole bunch of rubbish uploaded daily that never ever sees a download. But some of the stuff that does get to download and get to gold standard, I don't agree with because there are errors and problems. And that shouldn't be a gold standard. But that's just my personal opinion, I guess. Yeah, he's learning. I mean, he's gonna make some rookie errors. That's why I'm learning on, like, editing maps. Because I do want to make Donetsk, and it will be a thing eventually. But if I'm learning by making edits to an existing map that I know is good, I know is stable, I know has no bugs, I can see where I'm introducing bugs and problems, and learn from that and say, okay, well, that's a thing I need to avoid doing in the future. Like, I know that I need to avoid overlapping the vehicle reset point with anything, unless the vehicle reset point is inside a building. In which case I can probably get away with that. But, I mean, for somebody who's learning, Bullet Bill is fantastic. I mean, not many people can do mods and maps. And while his mods are primarily edits that he gets permission to release, he has the knowledge to be one of the absolute best map makers out there. And I think he already is. I mean, not many people can pull off Cobra Park Farm the way he did. And the West Coast looks even better, so... You know, while I might not agree with some of the mods that he makes, such as the marshals that have the auto-load script, I just don't like the auto-load script in general. So I don't like those, by extension. He's a guy who's got good ideas and will go far. People just need to lay back a bit, because unfortunately for him, he's made a bit of a name for himself already as being fantastic, and people, if he makes a mistake, they'll come down on him like a ton of bricks. Or a ton of feathers, I guess. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be bricks. And a ton of feathers is a hell of a lot more stuff, so I guess a ton of feathers. And you know, like I keep saying, the issue isn't with the modders. Bullet Bill is one of the few newer modders who seems to know exactly what people want and how to do things right. There's a lot of modders out there that just kind of throw some crap together, put basic scripts in, and completely forget that dirt skins are a thing, or that normal maps are a thing. Case in point This has no dirt skin. That has no dirt skin. It's a direct port from 2013. You know, that's the kind of thing that annoys me, is when people put what could be a fantastic mod together and it's just kind of half done. Bullet Bill won't release. Yeah, when the West Coast is out, you will know it is ready. It is perfect. And I'm kind of the same up to Nesk. That's why I'm taking so long over it. And I've seen people complaining in videos and stuff, in the older Nesk videos and even during streams, like, dude, you can just cover that up with stuff. And that's not the point. The point is I'll know it's wrong. If I can get it as close to perfect as I can, and then cover up the tiny little minuscule problems that are there and mask them, I'll be happy. But I think I'm similar to Bullet Bill in terms of map making. Is it has to be perfect, because hell, the map author is going to be the person who plays the map the most, because you're making maps for yourself. And if you want to make a map for yourself and you want to release it specifically, you're putting your name on a product. And if you're not happy with that product, you should not be putting your name to it. So I'm kind of questioning if Donetsk will ever actually be done. Because I keep trying to optimize sections of Donetsk and being like, no, this could be better, this could be better, this could be better. Oh my god, all the things. I think I'm nearly done putting the road system in on like one side of the map, which means I'm getting close to the point where I'll actually need to find a bloody bridge. And then I'll need to put in the rail system, and I've got a rail system in mind. Then like, some people, there are people out there who've never made a map, never tried to make a map, never tried to edit a map, and they're the people who got like really, really impatient over mods and maps. They're like, they think a map can be done in a week. I was like, it can, yeah, but it'll have like one field, one storage point, and essentially nothing else. Because if you want a good map, you're going to wait 6, 8, 9 months for the map author to say, okay, well, I'm just finishing optimizing these 5, 6 things, and now I'm going to optimize these 7 other things, and I'm probably going to find another 11 different things that need to be tweaked a small bit, and then I'll be happy with it and test it. And then during testing, there'll be another few tweaks that he or she decides to make, and they'll find an error that needs to be fixed, and that kind of stuff happens. And you know, it's these maps that just appear on FSUK and then 3 weeks later they're out that I question. Or, you know, two months later they're out. That's not a good time scale for making a map. It's a good time scale for map making competition, because you can see how people do under pressure. Not a good time scale for a map. For an entire map. Now the biggest shame, I just thought of this, the biggest shame of FS15 as a whole is that there's no more realistic mod. Because MR was fantastic in FS13. I only really appreciated towards the end of FS13 how good MR actually was. I need to refuel this tractor soon. But there's too many map authors and what? Yeah, I'm gonna kind of. There's too many modders, both map makers and mod authors, who just release subpar stuff, and it's not that their stuff was bad. It's just that you can see the potential it has, and it's just kind of wasted. You know, I've seen tractors and stuff, and you just think, this would be really fantastic if it had a better model, or the scripting was done a bit better, or didn't have this specific thing, or it had this specific thing, or the textures were nicer. And, you know, they're usually missing one or two small elements, but that ruins the mod as a whole. Owen, if you're still here, did you know, I'm presuming it is, do you know if the West Coast is a 4X map? Because he's mentioned before that Colbert Park would only fit into about a corner, would only fit into one corner of the West Coast. So, do you know if that's going to be 4X or if it's just 1X? Because Colbert Park Farm took up the majority, if not all, of the map. So I think... I don't know if he's even confirmed this. I think he was hinting that it's 4X. Which, if it is, that'd be cool, seeing a 4X map done by somebody who puts the kind of detail work that Colbert Park Farm has. Yeah, putting that kind of stuff into a 4X, that's going to be a bitch to run on a computer. That's going to be hell to try and run anything that's not like a 980. That's not going to be a map for laptops. Yeah, he said 6 yards and like... Didn't he say like 60 plus fields as well? So, like all the hints he's been giving have kind of been, this map is going to be big. It's, you know, I don't think it's a 1X map, I think it's 4X. Just from the hints he's been giving, because he seems to be the kind of person who just isn't going to say anything else straight. It's like, we're going to have yards and fields and sell points on the map. That describes every map. I know, that's kind of the point. But what else is it going to have? Animals. What animals? Cows. Sheep, chickens, maybe some other stuff, I don't know. I gotta admit, if you're making a map or something, he hinted about an optimized version for low spec players. Yes, but he did say a few days ago, I think it was, on Tuesday I think, I think he put up a message saying, or an post on FSUK saying that it's taking so long to do the high spec version that the low spec version isn't going to be a thing, and he's just going to go for some kind of compromise version and only release the one. And that's one of the few things he's actually said out straight. Is that he doesn't think he can get two versions of the map made before FS17. Which kind of says a lot about the guy. I really respect him as a map author, a map maker. I'm gonna just go fill the tractor up because it's damn near empty. I am also going to pick up the thing over here. Bale spike. Which temporarily got stuck in the ground. And is perfectly clean, so it looks hilarious. How wonderful. I hate driving the tractors when they're in the red for fuel. if nobody's guessed that yet, it shouldn't really come as a surprise that as soon as the tractor goes into the red, I normally decide that it needs to be refueled immediately. So that was odd. I just saw this like weird glow. Not entirely sure what just happened. Yeah, so I'm on animal fattening week rate on any map. Knuston would be great with pigs or and cattle. I tried to do that. That was like I've alluded to this being actually the second edition of my Knuston edit. The first edition. That's actually the third edition. So the first edition, I'm gonna just stop up here and kind of show what it is. The first edition, field 7 down here, I actually turned into a third yard. Or fourth, because there's a yard up here. Field 7, I turned into a yard and I put like 2 pigs and 2 beef in here and a couple of silage bunkers. And what did I do wrong with that version? Oh yeah, when I was doing the edit of this yard and down here, I screwed up the scene graph, so it just crashed the game immediately and wouldn't work because I'd messed up the scene graph and that changed the XML to suit. The second version, I took field 1 and I put some pigs and beef in there and I extended out the wall of the main yard out around field 1. And I just moved the gate. I put a second gateway in over here. Put silage bunkers in down by where the down where the shed of abandoned vehicles is. That was silage bunkers. And put pigs and beef in. Worked fine, except for the fact that the doors wouldn't open because I'd done something wrong with the door script. And that's when I kind of gave up. The door script wouldn't work, so I gave up. So I went for a compromise of I'm just going to throw in the Seed Master and compost and deal with it. But that was my original plan, was to have a pig unit here. Like literally there. It was going to be a pig unit. But I might still do that if I do ever get it. If I ever talk to Pretorius and get the go ahead for releasing this map, I will mention to him that I'm gonna throw a pig unit in. And like see what he thinks. Because I think that's something that the map could really benefit from. And most likely I'd swap out the Compost Master for a pig unit. Because the Compost Master is great, but the pigs are actually better for money. And game balance. Because good lord, that Compost Master is unbalanced. So if you're wondering why I'm making straw bales at the moment, instead of just throwing it on to the Compost Master, it's because I'm planning on English. Because I'm planning on getting cows. And the more bales I get now, the less bales I need when I do get the cows. Also because I've kind of screwed up the the nutrients on the fields, and I'm kind of thinking about putting down a crop just to suck up the rest of the nutrients. I am legitimately thinking of putting down a crop that is, the entire intention is to just suck up nutrients. And reset this field to 0, 0, 0 and everything. Because at least if it's all zeroed out, I can work on the nutrients and stuff. And just like throw down nutrients and then just keep throwing herbicide at it for a while. Because I think one herbicide treatment will buy me enough time to sort out all of the nutrients. So we're almost at 6 o'clock, which means almost time for me to take another commercial break. Because that's the thing that I do. Because I need to have bad revenue. I'm doing this essentially for free because ad revenue isn't much, but every little helps, huh? even with 5 people in chat, it's probably going to be, I would guess when I click run ad, 2 of you will get an ad, depending on where people are located. The UK and Ireland, I believe, are most likely in the world to get ads. US, not so much. And everyone in between is a bit random. Hey, Welsh the Gamer, how are you doing? Welcome along. Full disclosure, I am very cynical and can say some really kind of abrasive things at times. For example, earlier I was just completely going off on one about the FSUK test team. Because I'm not going to go off on one again. I can be a bit abrasive if I decide I don't like something. I try not to be abrasive with people in chat. Unless they just start like spamming something or something like that. And there is just one rule here, Welsh. The rule is don't be a douchebag. If you like treat me with respect and make somewhat innocent jokes, I wouldn't suggest insulting me straight off. Not for a few days. But if you've been here a while, or I've seen you elsewhere, like Oni can get away with it. He's been around the channel for a long time. He can call me pretty much anything he wants, I guess. But I do kind of have a low tolerance for idiots in general. And spammers. And people who decide to try and start advertising their own channel in chat. There are 3 things that I hate. I genuinely hate it. It's not just I strongly dislike it. I genuinely hate it because it's just showing me disrespect. Showing no respect for me or my content. Should do something like that. Also, I know I really should pick up the pickup when I'm reversing like that, because all I'd ever succeed in doing is, all I would if this was real would be jamming the pickup, I guess. Well, yeah, I guess. More than likely. You're providing the internet, why would you aim for? Hey, you never know, I might do something stupid and you can call me an idiot. Or you can call me just a creep or something. Or you can say my hat makes me look like Bray Wyatt or something. I don't know. Someone in live gaming is playing Farm Sim. It seems to be a rarity on YouTube. I've noticed there's usually a few channels live on Twitch, but you tried to download the Big Farm map, but it's gone. I swear I re-downloaded that recently. Or at least followed the link. I'll check when I'm doing an ad break in, what, 4 minutes? I'll check in about 5 minutes time if Big Map is still there. Because it was still there last time I checked. Or Big Farm. I know sometimes people have disputes with FSUK and NAS for all their mods to be removed. And if that's the case, I will just flat out stop the Big Farm series if it's not available anymore. Because I don't want to play on a map that nobody else can. You know, just because I have it. I say that I'm playing on this, nobody else, actually nobody else can have this map. I'm the only person short of somebody somehow managing to hack me and download my entire mod folders. All of them. I'm the only person in the world that has this specific map. I know that for sure because I'm the one that edited it. I made some changes. I don't like private mods in general, but I think private edits are fine. But people going out and like making mods and showing them off like entirely new models that are fantastic, and then showing them off and saying, no, nobody can ever have this, it's mine, it's private. That's a bit douchebaggy. That's literally just having your kid. That's just saying, oh, look at what I could do if I could be bothered ever releasing anything like this. Look at how great I am. Whereas I'm just like, this is a map I changed. It's a map. I play on it. It's buggy as hell because I'm not very good at editing maps. It's not actually too bugged. There's one or two bugs that I know how to get around. And probably should fix, but just can't be bothered. The biggest issue is that the reset point is kind of broken. I've kind of put a compost master in the reset point, and that wasn't the greatest of ideas. Do I know of any great maps for beef? Yes, take a very, very good... Actually, Cobra Park Farm would be really good for beef. If you want one that is slightly dodgy terrain, you might need to do a bit of editing in Giant's Editor. Moray Bay is quite good. Taste of Donegal, again, terrain's slightly dodgy there, might need a bit of editing. I think that has beef. Alternatively, if you're brave, and it does require some knowledge of Giant's Editor and script and, well, just following instructions that may or may not be in German, so Google Translate. You use the class harvesters and the belt gets blocked every 20 meters. Why is that? Because you're driving too quickly, Killer K. Those class harvesters have loading scripts on them, which, as far as I'm aware, I haven't used them yet. I've literally only downloaded them today, but I've seen people using them. If you drive too quickly with those things, the entire header gets blocked. So the trick with them, and they suit my playstyle, which is why I downloaded them today. The trick with them is to drive at a realistic speed and just watch the intakes and keep it below 100%. So I think like 4 or 6 kilometers an hour is something similar to right for them. Although again, I haven't actually played with them yet. But you will need to drive slower than the game says you can. That is 100% for certain. The game will say you can drive at like 10 kilometers an hour. No. Not advisable. You only use John Deere when your maps allowed. The class 580 and 600s that Daggerwin uses. I kind of bit the bullet. I've been thinking for a few days, those are really nice harvesters, I would really like them, and I was just like, oh, if they're not available, I don't know if they suit my playstyle. And I was just kind of thinking earlier on today, you know, I use the damn Mengele. I can't really say a harvester wouldn't suit my playstyle. If it's got similar scripts on it, so I kind of bit the bullet and downloaded them today. They're the ones on Mod Hoster that I think I said this Daggerwin's using at the moment. They look really nice, and from what I've seen, the performance is reasonably good if you don't drive like a loony. They suit people like me who have like at least somewhat realistic play styles. I say that as I'm driving down the road with the baler turned on. I play realistically. Wait, the baler's turned on. Oops. That was just me being an idiot. Bit big for you. Yeah. I'm using the LS11 harvester, the lizard that's supposed to be a dominator. Or the LS11 lizard greeny whitey fake class tractor because they couldn't get any licenses. That's what I'm using on this map at the moment. I'm gonna probably save up for the 580 though, just because it's got a complicated usage. Just because it's complicated, I'm gonna save up for it. Plus, once I get that, I can swap field aid into crops, and it'll be a lot more sensible around on the in terms of what I put where and the harvest size and whatnot. Especially if I keep dropping straw like this, because I think the original intention was to chaff one of these fields for silage, but there really is no point. I'm not even saying that sarcastically. There is no point, because all the silage clamps are taken up already on the map, all 4 of them. And here I was thinking, oh, I'll probably need to get more grass fields to make sure all the clamps can be full. Nope. No. However, I might take out the fire silo extension, because that is a bit insane. Even for me. It took like 6 hours to load up the silage bunkers. That was far too long. Either there, I might get like one of those silage weights or something. We've broken 200 bales now in this baler to 220. And I'm going to take an ad break now and check if the big farm has still got a link. So I'm just going to play an ad and pop onto FSUK maps. Do. Oh, has the big farm been taken down? No, it's still up. Big farm is still live, and the link that I have works, I believe. How do I want to do this? I guess I'm going to be playing one of my own videos, so I can't get a copyright claim from myself. So I can kind of do this. Also, what? Has my thumbnail not changed? My thumbnail should not be ATS, which it is appearing as for me. Can I just go into the editing menu for this, please? Oh, I can go over here and do the editing menu for it. Big farm. Do. Yeah. The link I've got in my big farm videos is up, yeah. So, don't quite... Because somebody said it was down. Somebody said that the map was no longer there, but it is. And that's the most trustworthy link I have for it is FSUK. Because let's face it, FSUK is the most trustworthy mod site. Despite what I say about the mod testing team being a bit questionable, there's never a virus in FSUK. Everything goes through multiple checks. Oh! Hello! Apparently, I've just spotted this in FSUK. I'm gonna go into the shop here. Apparently, this Massey Ferguson 945 that goes with the Massey pack by Bullet Bill has no dirt skin. That's a real shame. I've just spotted that on Office UK on the support topic. That's a real shame. I'm gonna swap back to webcam, my webcam view in a second. Just because I want to really quickly check my emails. Just while I'm... Because I do take about a 5-minute break every time I run ads. For Big Farm... Has Big Farm got 17,000 total downloads, or is it... 4,000 downloads for the Massey Pack already. That's amazing. And 2,500 for the 945. Wow, that just shows that people respect names of big modders. That 945 is a real shame if it doesn't have dirt skins. That is a real damn shame. Do. So let's get back to bathing. Properly this time. I'm really enjoying how this hat doesn't actually fit me, but people somehow think it does. Because people yesterday when I was wearing this in a somewhat serious manner were saying, "Oh my god, that hat looks so good on you." It doesn't fit, it just covers up like half of my bald spot, which is the entire front of my head. Well, my forehead, I guess. But like, it just covers up my forehead, which makes me look less bald than I actually am. It's not a particularly good hat. Anyway, back to the bed. And, oh, we can make that turn. Lovely! Good lord, my, the graphs I'm getting for viewers and stuff looks like the stock prices of Annie.com company in the late 90s. That's a reference to that. Well, late 90s up to about 2003 when everything started going crazy again. I'm gonna check my phone in a second because that thing has been beeping constantly. Well, it's just a couple of things that I don't... Somebody leaving a comment which I do care about, and then a couple of things that I don't particularly care about. Just so that you guys don't think I don't think comments are important. Comments are important. They let you guys tell me what the hell is going on. And what you think. I mean, I can tell you what's going on my end. You guys are the ones that tell me what's going on your end. And that's just as important to me. There we go. And if I don't get all the baling done by 7 PM GMT, what I'll do is I will finish it off camera and move one of the field. Probably empty out this field off camera as well. Just so that I get something to do over the weekend and get a bit bored and decide to play Farm Sim. I'll be moving all the bales down to the cow zone. We haven't decided which shed they're going into yet, but they'll be going down there. They'll probably not go into the shed that I currently have chaff in for some reason. But they'll be going down there and being shedded up over there. Can I make this turn? I can make this turn. Beautiful. Wonderful. This music, I think, is very good for baling. Because it does kind of sound like a baler. albeit a square baler, but still. I might get the, just to be stupid at some point, I might get the Classics pack baler, the little far APN, and one of the Classics tractors and the bale picker, and go around this field baling with that. The only downside, I guess, is that it only ever bales hay, and that would be kind of cheaty. But I think it'd be fun to see how many hundreds of bales I get out of this field. It's fine, Welsh. Sometimes those map links do die off over time, but the link that I have for it is FSUK, so that tends to stay stable. Using the council's Wi-Fi. Oh dear. It's a really good map. There are issues with it. No map is perfect. The biggest issue that I've found is the grass fields are a bit odd, and the treescapes along the side. You'll know what I mean when you get into the map. The treescapes along the side have a bit kind of strange collisions, and they do flicker through each other a bit, which is a shame, because otherwise that map would be like really much better than it currently is. Yours is 33 seconds. Mine downloads in like 10 seconds or something. Now I download mods in literally like a second. It's brilliant. And I'm using Wi-Fi as well. I don't have wired internet. I'm streaming off a 60 gigabit Wi-Fi connection. Actually, my upload is like 20. My download is like 70-ish on Wi-Fi. Might I add? Just to show how stupid my internet actually is, and how much of the 21st century. Dude, you don't need that. You've got an imagination. You should be fine. Also, hidemyass.com is a very good site. Just saying. Not saying it'd help you, but it'd help you. I think it's hidemyass.com. I know there are websites that get around a lot of those filters. Although if the IT guys are smart when they're setting up a filter, they'll also filter those sites. Though that's kind of questionable with some of the IT guys that I've heard of. Then again, you see, the IT guys I've heard of, they work with my dad, and there seems to be two types. One is the idiot who doesn't really know how a computer works. The other is now chief hacker for a major bank. It sounds like he's doing something stupidly illegal, being, chief hacker for a bank. No, he's hacking into all the other. It sounds like, chief hacker for a bank. It sounds like he's trying to hack into other banks and get all the details from the other bank's customers and send out spam emails and stuff. No, what a chief hacker for a bank does is try and hack the bank that he's working for. Most companies will have a chief hacker, especially ones that have public-facing elements like banks. And the whole point is that if their hacker is good enough to hack the systems aren't good enough. What bale trailer am I using now? I have no idea. I can't remember. I think it's one of the Marshalls. That Giants made? Maybe? I think it's from the Marshall pack that Giants released, the one that I'm using. It's definitely a Marshall. You're ready for S17. I haven't seen anything that makes me excited for it yet. All I've seen is there's new crops which are already in FS15. If you want to get a good mod map, you can find it. Your free education department. Education is slack everywhere. Every education system in the world is teaching people how to be robots. They're not actually teaching people how to succeed in life or be humans. Because if you give an answer that's not in their answer sheet, it's wrong, regardless of how correct it is. Hell, when I was doing hey again, Bob. When I was doing biology and chemistry for my leaving cert, my leaving cert, it's A levels in England, SAT, something similar to SAT in America. When I was studying my biology and chemistry for that, I literally cheated the system, because what I did was that you had to learn definitions, and I kind of looked through past papers and stuff and realised the marking scheme was about specific words. So what I did was I learned those specific words and just linked them together in my own words. So I was giving a definition that wasn't specifically in the books, but I was hitting all of the words in the marking scheme, so I couldn't be marked down for an incorrect definition. Which is technically wrong to do. It's technically incorrect to do that. However, it saves a lot of time on studying. It saves a lot of time, it's more efficient, and you get the same marks. So, you know, realistically it's probably a better way to do it. Plus, by learning specific words out of the definitions, you actually make your own definition of it, which actually means you know it a bit better. Alternatively, for mitochondria, everybody knows mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Because that's a meme somehow. I love it when like genuine science becomes a meme. That just pleases me. But then again, I'm a giant nerd, so it's hardly surprising. Like when the was it last week or the week before with the I don't agree with a lot of the education system. It needs, like worldwide, everything needs to be fixed in education systems. They need to teach skills and not facts, unless you want to teach science, in which case, yeah, facts are definitely a thing. Science, history, geography, they're the only ones that I really think need facts taught. Languages definitely don't need to learn facts, but hey, that's the way they're teaching them now. Like, you have to learn it this way and this way only. And I had a bit of a barney with one of my teachers because she was one of the people that was like, oh no, that's not the way I teach it, so you're learning it wrong. I was like, how can I be learning something wrong? Like, just because I don't use your method doesn't mean it's wrong, it just means it's not right for me. But because I'm not using your method, it's obviously wrong for you, which means you think I'm wrong now. It doesn't matter how well I learn, it's what method you decide is correct. I think teachers need to get training on how to actually deal with kids. And, you know, the teachers actually need training on how to deal with the people they'll be working with, as opposed to just getting training on how to teach. Because let's face it, a lot of teenagers now are more intelligent than the people teaching them. Especially with the likes of IT. Because there was one point, I'm not even kidding here. One subject I was doing, we had to do a project on AutoCAD, because I was doing, you know, a subject that involved AutoCAD. And I've probably told the story before. The project, we had to use AutoCAD, we had to make a 3D model of the thing we were doing the project on, and then we had to make some changes to the model and exploded views and all sorts of stuff. And one of the last things was doing a photorealistic render of it. And there was a set of instructions. The teacher literally gave us the instructions and said, "You figure this out because I can't be bothered." And I genuinely found that entertaining. And I think there were 3 of us to the point where we needed the instructions for the photorealistic. And this was the very last thing everybody did, so we were the first ones finished. 2 of them were girls, and I was the third person. I said to the girls, "Okay, you try and work it out with those instructions, I'll try and work it out myself, and we'll see who gets there first." And as it turned out, my trial and error method was actually faster than using the instructions. Which might be a bit of a problem with the instructions there, if somebody can figure it out themselves a bit faster. So I ended up teaching everybody, including both teachers that were teaching the subject. I literally had them I literally sat them down beside me one day after school. I was like, "Okay, now this is how you do this. This is how to use the program you're supposed to be teaching us." And it was just like, you know, this is really 21st century schooling, where there's something to do with IT, the teachers have no idea, and the students end up having to teach. And hey Kel, 5th. I'm blind. Deal with me misreading names occasionally. I am blind. And neither of the 2 YouTube colour schemes that I'm using actually help. That's actually a good reason for me to use both YouTubes. Because the chat that you're seeing on camera down there is actually from YouTube Gaming. And I've got both chats running. I've got the YouTube Gaming chat on the left hand side of my second screen, and normal YouTube chat running on the right hand side, because I'm actually broadcasting through normal YouTube. I just have the gaming chat because it works better with chroma key in OBS. Well, that's a good reason to use YouTube gaming, is because it works better with chroma key. Although I am kind of tempted to expand the size of the chat because it does look a bit small. I'm pretty sure people on mobiles can't see it. In fact, I'm nearly 100% sure, because I'm looking at it on a screen bigger than is on my phone and I can't see it. Although it does. Here's the thing, it seems to be coming through clearer on YouTube than it actually is on OBS. It's a lot less weird and hyper perfect on YouTube. I have a feeling Kel was a spammer. That he said hey, and then there was a second message that was complete spam. I could be wrong, but I do have the spam filter in place, so if he did say anything, if Kel said anything that was spam, it has been automatically deleted by YouTube and never made it into chat. Because I do know some people do that. Some, like spam bots, do troll YouTube looking for live streams. They say hey, and then immediately post their spam. Because they do the same thing on Twitch, where they act like a real person for like 5 seconds, and then suddenly there's spam everywhere. And in fact, the spam filter is one of the reasons that I do use YouTube, because I keep forgetting to put MooBot into Twitch. I do have MooBot available to Twitch, I just keep forgetting to put it in. Or to turn it on, I guess. So we got about half an hour left in the stream today, just over. And it does look like we'll get all the bathing done, which is lovely. What I will probably do off camera though is I will move all of the bales from the upper field down to the cows. All the bales from field 1, I think it is. What's the number of the other field? Field 1, yes. All the bales from field 1 I'm going to move down to the cows and stack up, possibly off camera. I know we don't have any cows as of yet, but we're definitely going to have excess bales, which is genuinely nice. So feel free to say hello and chat, to talk away and chat, people. I don't mind people talking to each other in chat. I'm just kind of having a stream of consciousness session going on here, I guess. But I am going to try and get field 1 emptied out of bales before the next stream, before Tuesday. Just because I think the little blips I'm seeing in chat is YouTube deleting a spam link. Because I keep noticing very little blips that are maybe less than half a tenth of a second. I think that's YouTube getting a spam message and instantly deleting it. Because it would make sense if YouTube actually took a minuscule amount of time to read every message it was sent and then deleted the spam. So that's an interesting thing that I've noticed, and it might explain why chat blips for me. Because I only ever see it out of the corner of my eye. Interesting. Very interesting. I would genuinely love to know how the YouTube system works with spam. Because I know the content ID system and the whole copyright system is broken. Because, hey, what's fair use? It's not like there's been court decisions saying that somebody claiming on, somebody making a copyright claim has to hold reasonable doubt that the content is not used fairly, which YouTube just ignores, because that's not a DMCA. YouTube completely ignores the fact that most of the videos that are content ID'd are monetized, and even if it's a false claim, the people whose money has, well, essentially been stolen by a copyright claim, they never get their money back. Whoever claimed the video gets the money, gets to keep the money. So there's actually companies out there that are running solely to make false copyright claims on YouTube. There are legitimate, I say legitimate, there are real companies, and their entire business is making false copyright claims on YouTube. Because it's easy money. They don't need to prove anything, they get money for 30 days. They don't even have to own the content they've managed to get into Content ID. I mean, if it's a reasonable match to some piece of music, whatever happens in a stream or something, or in a video, that's fine. If, for example, I did this once, actually once or twice, if Spotify starts up and starts playing without the streamer really realising it, haha, that's kind of fine as well, because that's a thing that can happen live. I mean, it's essentially live TV. Anything can happen, anything can go wrong at any given time. So, mistakes happen and small little blips happen. But the copyright system on YouTube is so messed up, there's no such thing as fair use on YouTube. it's why I'm predicting this. YouTube is gonna go bust. YouTube is gonna go bust in a few years. Because everybody's gonna leave because they're all sick and tired of false copyright claims. Unless YouTube sorts out their copyright system, YouTube is gonna die. Because even watching, like, I'm kind of outside of this whole where's the fair use saga, thankfully. I have had some false claims in the past, but luckily they weren't too bad. Although I expect that as the channel grows and as there are more subscribers and more people watching streams and whatnot, the false claims will increase. Because there's going to be more money available for anybody making a false claim. That's the funny thing, is YouTube is discouraging small channels from existing while simultaneously discouraging them from growing. Because nothing on YouTube really suits small channels. Really small channels like me. I mean, I've only got, like, I don't even have 600 subs. The channel doesn't even have 600 subs. It's a tiny channel. And you guys are awesome for coming here most days, or some days, or every day, depending on who I'm talking to. But the issue is I have no support from YouTube. I have no access to anything YouTube really does. YouTube Red benefits me minimally. The new changes YouTube are making to everything is kind of hurting small channels like me. YouTube Red is better than ad revenue, but only just. I mean, the main issue is that ad revenue is ridiculously tiny. And YouTube takes the vast majority of that. And what's left, my network takes a reasonable chunk off. But I'm going to stick with the network for now. Gives me access to some stuff if I want to return to videos, so I'm kind of cool with having the network. And it does seem to have helped with growth. Although that could be a placebo effect. So yeah, some backstage chat, I guess, of what goes on behind the camera. So for the first time last week I was talking about going bald. I am going bald. Like, if you saw my dad, you would know that I'm kind of screwed. Like, my entire family, I'm going to take that out. My entire family, I'm going to have, like, no hair all around the middle of my head and just be, like, I will be like that, and the hat will fit because there'll be no hair to hold it back. But that's a thing that's coming, and it's already happening, because not all of that is forehead. All of this is bald. All up here already is bald. All up here already is bald. And it's going from the sides, so it's going to be really stupid at some point. But I've just got like this little circle of hair in the middle of my head, and that's all that's left on top, and then the back and sides will be fine. So I could probably get away with wearing a hat still. I look like, if you watch wrestling, I look a bit like Paul Heyman, probably. That kind of look. I'm not looking forward to it, if I'm being honest. I would possibly be one of the people who just decides to ask for it and just shaving it all off. Last year you did grade, shaved grade 1. Yeah, I have always had my hair like super short, super tight, and not like complete buzz cut. But now that I've grown out, I've kind of got used to being able to put my hair in a ponytail and stuff. I'm kind of liking it, but it's gonna have to go at some point. I know it will because it's just too hard to maintain. Because I have to remember to brush my hair every day and tie my hair back every day. And then I have to remember to take the bobble out at night, otherwise it will just rip my hair out. And when it's coming out, it rips my hair out anyway, because it's a rubber bobble, so it holds my hair better, because, you know, it's got a bit of grip to it, but it just rips at it when it's coming out. And it is painful. It is very painful when it's coming out. It's actually painful if I screw up putting it on like I did today, because I was in a rush and pulled my hair back in about 30 seconds. Which is part of the reason I'm wearing the hat. Natural light is gone. Someone upset in the darkness. Then, you know, seem to like the long biking here. That doesn't bother me one bit. I don't want to appeal to women as such. Don't particularly care. All I care about is being happy myself. Don't want to appeal to women, men, cats, dogs, weird Russian bear people, or mole people. I just want to be happy. I've really just stopped caring what other people think, other than my closest friends. They're the people I would listen to the most. You guys I listen to, obviously, but when it comes down to looks, I listen to only my close friends, because they know me well enough to know what I will and will not do with my face. And normally I change style every few weeks or years. Every few months I used to change my hair up. Now it's like every 2 to 3 years I'll change what hairstyle I have. I'm one of these people who just keeps the same hair for a long time. Like I had the same hairstyle from when I was 18 up until like 6 months ago. 6 or 8 months ago was the last time I changed my hairstyle. As long as your PC works, you're happy. Yeah, as long as I've got friends to talk to if something goes way wrong. As long as my PC works and I got internet and I can do this and I can do my other projects and I can chill out and watch YouTube videos at night. Or during the day when I got some chill out time. I'm quite happy. There's nothing kind of forcing me to want a relationship right now. I mean, obviously, like every human, I would like some companionship, but there's nothing forcing me to want it. And I don't need it to be happy. I'm quite happy just chilling out here in my seat, in my chair. Although, I need to try and fix this thing, because the cushion I'm using has gone flat. I have to try and fluff up the cushion. Because it's not comfortable after a long period of time anymore, which is a shame. I really wish I could afford something like a DX Racer. That would be amazing. The bigger issue then would be trying to fit the DX Racer into my room. Because my room is tiny. I can literally touch my desk and my bed at the same time. And they're on opposite sides of the room. And I don't need to stretch. I literally have my hand, like, my left hand right now is on my bed. My right arm is, well, you can see where my right hand is. This is on my desk. I'm sat pretty much dead center of the room. Bright side is I can reach almost anything in here. Downside is I can reach almost anything in here from my seat. and I can't fit anything else in. I literally have to squish myself up against the wall to get in and out. That's how silly small my room is. Yeah, I'm not one of these people who have like a giant studio for YouTube and stuff. Because they got a huge house with a trillion rooms and no. A somewhat broke dude that's doing YouTube for fun. Who just happens to have enough space in his bedroom to do it. Where's the thing? Where is the thing? Did I drop the thing? Where is the thing? Bear with me. I'm looking for something that I've misplaced. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, Killers. The X-Racer, they're like a bucket seat for a race car. I've got kind of a quasi-DX Racer thing going on. I've got like a seat back cushion in Primark. I've strapped that to the chair and it seems to work reasonably well. Because it allows me to, when I sit back, it actually contours my back for me. The issue is that it's a bit too far back and I'd like it to be a bit farther forward, because otherwise I'm sitting like this. And it's a bit far back for me. Bit far back for my liking. Way too far back for my liking. I'm a lowrider. I just gangster drive this window if I can. I won't be able to properly because I have to stop the track then. I look like I've disappeared. That's not necessarily good. I need to get like more lights in here. Some of those like touch lamps and stuff that I can just thwack when it starts getting dark, so that I can get some sort of floodlighting going on here. Actually, how does it look if I just turn on this light over here? Not entirely terrible. This will do for a while. Downside is it is like illuminating the side of my screen. It's a bit annoying. And it's glaring over chat. You took a cushion off the sofa and sit cross-legged on the floor. Bit bothered. Yeah, I can get that. I'm using like a £50 office chair from Argos, and I'm saying pounds. That's the currency I used to buy it. I was over in the UK at the time. It cost me like 50 quid. Not entirely sure if it's real leather. It's leathery looking. So, you know, it's not great, not terrible. I took one of the cushions off the sofa as well. One of the little square ones that are kind of just more for aesthetics than comfort. I'm sitting on that and it's kind of after losing all of its mushiness. So the downside about my current lighting setup, which is literally a desk lamp set over there, is that it's putting an awful glare on the screen. That's the best I can do without like standing up and turning on the main lamp which is over my head, which again has its issues. There is nothing worse than that kind of kid. So I'm gonna pop this back into the shed here. this. A rare breed indeed, although I do have one of these as well. It's not really showing up the webcam very well. I do have a different one as well. Only reason I'm on these today is because I was in a really bad mood this morning. And I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with this today. How many hours in the droids? 39.4 at present. So, a reasonable amount. More than most people get on any of their tractors in farm sim. Dang it. They give you hiccups. That's one of the smallest problems I've ever heard about them. Wow, this thing loves spinning out. Oh, I got the... Let's turn off soil mod. Or at least the soil mod display. Turn this thing on. We should be able to just go full speed over most of this. So this is just to pick up the little scraggly bits left on the field. And the rest of the swing draw, which will not be 4,000 litres. At least I hope it won't be. So this acts like the classes I bought. I didn't buy, I downloaded. And it's got a load script on. Means if I drive too quickly, it will block up the header. And I think I've got to finish the stream. I've blocked up the header. I think I've got to finish up the stream now, so 42 hours on the stair. Where's the New Holland? 28.5 on the Mini Massey. New Holland currently has 46.1. This has 46 hours on it already. And I'm nowhere near finished with it. This is going to be a save game where essentially I'm going to be trying to get as many hours on this thing as possible. And it's all down to soil mod. Because this thing is the only thing that can run most of the equipment I need. Like this will be doing all of the cultivating, all of the seeding. I'll probably crack out the droids for the spraying and fertilizing and stuff. Mind you, I saw Dirt Tibbers before had like a 200-hour tractor. Back in, I think it was 13. Might have been one of his 15 series. He had like 150 hours on a tractor. That's more than I've ever managed to put on one. But this thing is just, I use it for everything because it's the best tractor I have. The Deutz gets cracked out when I can get away with using the Deutz. I'm gonna have to clean this up and I'll finish off doing that, all of that off camera before Tuesday. That's empty because I'm not using it. The knives in there will need to be changed out soon. Oh, there's the knives. You can see the knives. How nice. They'll need to be changed out soon because they're almost gone. Mind you, I probably won't be using that all that much anymore. If I'm making... No, I'll be doing compost again once I've got... I'm trying to think of what my plan is. I'll be doing compost again once I get hay made off the meadows. Just trying to bring up... sometimes you can glitch courseplay and get it open. I'll be making hay off the meadows once I got all the bales that I've currently got away. And that'll probably be Tuesday. The entirety of Tuesday's stream will be moving bales. Thursday then will be mowing and tedding and windrowing for the hay on all of our meadows, including the one that I created manually. And then probably the Tuesday after that I'll be baling again and moving the bales. So I'm gonna end the stream here a few minutes early. Because I think I've got to go down for food now. So I'm just going to run the 5-minute timer, as I tend to do. And when the timer hits 0, the stream will be over. So thank you all very much for coming. I might end the stream before it hits 0, but just so that I know the stream is done. Thank you all very much for coming until tomorrow when I'll be doing Project Cars and Project Hell and Project Cars. Whoops. Thank you all very much for coming. Stay safe and goodbye.